ba bing bow boom ba bam boom bow bing ring 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 I gotta do this every time, bro. If I gotta do this every time, I'm gonna have to split my disc. Oh, but I don't want to have to split my disc. I just want to sit instead of splitting my disc. Okay, put that there. That'll be perfectly fine. I just go ahead and put that there, then come over here, then come over here, and do all the things. Oh, God, how it feels to be a live streamer. Oh, no wonder people say this is the hardest job in the world. And it ends up being one of the more simplest to ever do. Because people are lazy, people are weird. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's how you, oh yeah, that's how you crack a neck. That's how you, yep. All that fucking bone marrow going off in my skin. It feels good. Hi. Hello, peoples. Wonderful individuals you all claim to be, but you all might be terrible individuals. Secretly. Good Mondays. I didn't know daylight saving time started because I could have sworn somebody said that they were going to abolish that and like make it unlawful to screw with time and how it fluctuates. But you know what? Everyone believes their own propaganda on occasion. I gotta learn about. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you two people something. I guess, given the circumstances of me being like accosted for daring to say that I am excited for a video game, I have been inundated with, how could you be a fan of this? Sweet Baby Inc. this and Sweet Baby Inc. that. And I've told y'all from like Jump Street, I don't care about none of that shit. Why don't you care? Because I'm sitting playing video games having fun while y'all not. That's pretty much it. And when I say that, I ain't gonna make it seem like it's this big thing where everybody get mad at me. Some people get upset because it's like I'm not boycotting shit that don't matter. Like when we sit here and talk about why we don't like certain games, you gonna find out that my reasoning is way different from anybody else you would watch that bitches about video games. I'll hate a game because of microtransactions, because the gameplay is not that good, because I keep getting cheated, because motherfuckers don't really put in skill towards a game. They just go straight for the meta. These are reasons why I don't like a fucking game that could be easily solved by just me getting good. But yeah, I gotta learn. I gotta learn about Sweet Baby Inc. today. But before that, I saw this and I have to. I didn't watch Trump's State of the Union or whatever the fuck they call this. So I guess this would be my first time watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was supposed to give you my State of the Union address tonight, but I'm still in shock over the tragedy that happened this weekend. I'm speaking, of course, of John Cena turning heel and turning...
I'm still devastated over this, bro.
His back on the fans, joining The Rock to stab Cody Rhodes in the back. I haven't eaten, I haven't slept since this tragedy occurred.
Neither have I.
I'm sorry I can't do this. Thank you and good night.
I can't either. You know what? If I could get this type of Trump, maybe I would think about possibly considering saying something nice about him. But he's a politician, and I can't say anything nice about any politician. Yeah, they're just the type of people I can't compliment. I do gotta hold on. I want to get a drink. I'm gonna get a bottle of water. I want to get a bottle of water. I have a simple question. Am I supposed to care about a street corner losing a graphic design? Because Good morning, Leon. I'm at my hospital job. You better not get anyone killed, or I'm gonna further prove my point that we're doomed as a society. I don't. Somebody told me I should care about a street corner getting letters erased off the concrete, and I'm just like, in my head, I'm glad that y'all had a moment in time that was supposed to like solidify and get y'all to come together. But also in my head, it's like, bros, do y'all understand that this did nothing? Like, I'm happy for the designer that got to paint this on the street, and I think maybe got paid, maybe they didn't. But overall, I don't care, considering that there's 50 million other things that have gone on in regards to the black community that has not, and I mean not, been of benefit to a street corner. Like, with it there were still issues, and with it gone, there will still be issues. But it's apparently erasing history. It's erasing like the foundation of people coming together and specifying how they want to base your black life off of a criteria that they set based on weird circumstances and weird requirements that really nobody follows, but they pretend as if they can pick and choose based off of social media which ones do follow that. To any individuals that see this and they think, oh yes, we're getting rid of division. No, you're not. Because I saw a little bit of that before I turned on the street. Yes, division is slowly being defeated. Ooh, no, it's not. You just had an entire election year that was nothing but division, and removing a street corner's painted letters is not gonna stop division. It's not even gonna start the process of stopping division. You know why? Because there's 50 million fucking people on this planet. There's a percentage of that shit that is in this country where everybody got a different fucking opinion about something, and it's not really gonna go away. It ain't gonna go away, especially when you consider, as I really enjoy drinking this water, it's not gonna go away considering that we got so many fucking people with different opinions about how this country should be run, and motherfuckers who agree with it and motherfuckers who don't agree with it, and these motherfuckers who are free speech absolutists seemingly getting upset when they hear an opinion from the First Amendment of free speech that is not theirs. I truly never know what it is that we're gonna do. We're never gonna be a great society, never gonna be a good society. But, you know, everyone's got to try some way, somehow, to make things work in totalitarian, in perpetuity throughout the universe. I might end up recording 2 videos while I stream. It all depends on how I feel. They're sitting right in front of me, and I have the opportunity to touch them. But I want to focus on learning about the indoctrination of video games from people who don't make them at all. But I'm really interested. She has a fat one down there. I'm really interested overall about these current happenings and talking points taking place. But I might not touch them until later because, there's more important fish for me to fry right now. There's more important fish for me to fry right now. Hold on. I'm going to promote the fact that I'm streaming. Oh my God, I need to do that more often. Oh my God, I should probably do that way more often. Why the fuck did Tyron text me saying, what the fuck do I be sending him? I text you greatness. Okay, let me just go ahead and do this. No, not that. Let me just go ahead and switch accounts and switch to my main YouTube account. Or yeah, that's how you get it done. Yeah. Because I think Sweet Baby Inc. is a very unnecessary company. I think. Then the last time I talked about Sweet Baby Inc. was like a year ago, and I found out that they were a part of like several fucking games as like consultants, and I did not fucking care because I was playing games that were on that list that I enjoyed. Didn't I do that? Didn't I not care about this shit? I feel like if I remember this shit again, I'm gonna end up not caring about it again. I just have that innate feeling that I'm gonna learn about it later because I want to watch this apparent Harry Potter controversy first, and I'm gonna walk away with the same opinion that I don't give a fuck. I'm playing games. Just let me not tweet but post this for all the other people to see. Post. All right, we could get this show on the road now, boys. Hit me with your best shot. And I gotta watch El Torre because the last time El Torre spoke on a black character, it was fucking nauseating. But nauseating for you all, fun for me.
So there's a Harry Potter.
Goodbye, Lord Suck. You definitely do indeed suck, might I add.
Potter series coming out, and the studio thought it would be a fantastic idea to completely change the look of a fan favorite character, to take the very creepy, pale skin, pasty, black-haired, goth-looking vampire guy who straight up looks like a freaking alternate version of Spock, a gothic-looking, pasty-ass, Vulcan, weird...
Hold on, buddy, I'm bored. I need a game.
...looking person who bears a creepy resemblance to Dragul, and, you know, turn him into a dark-skinned puppy dog personality type dude. Like, she still looks like her. Now look, I'm always fascinated as to why they choose to do this. Like, why take an already established character, swap their entire aesthetic, and only ever make them Afro descent? It's never Asian descent, it's never Hispanic descent, it's just, or Latino, it's just this one group over and over. But you cannot convince me that someone in these studios doesn't low-key hate black people and isn't setting them up as a target for unnecessary backlash. Like, how do you take this?
Two things. Number one, there have been people who didn't got race swapped into Mexicans, and that got issues. Also, I could just be the one guy who states the obvious. You could just like boot up your old DVD player and like watch the movies, or just like keep reading the books and be safe in that and not have to fucking see something that upsets you. That's an option. Another option is I don't know, like not react like a bunch of fucking kids over Hollywood shit, because I'm still like waiting and itching and clawing for like the day that y'all said was gonna come when Hollywood stopped doing this, because for the amount of flops that y'all keep talking about that happens like every time they drop a movie and y'all swear it's the death of Hollywood does it again, and I just be sitting there like, wait, I thought y'all said Hollywood was gonna die. It's almost like they gotta make sure the IP is still in their possession so that nobody else can make some shit, much like what they're doing with Mickey Mouse.
Clearly unsettling coffin-like character, and then turn him into the complete opposite and then act surprised if people get mad. It's almost like they're trying to create controversy, and I refuse to believe it's an accident at this point. And before anyone starts crying racism, let me stop you right there, because black people hate this too, and I don't just mean...
I don't care. No, don't. Oh my God, don't do the. Hey, we found some black people upset about this, so that means everyone's upset about this. But they got black people that don't care. I guarantee you, if I dedicated like 30 minutes to combing through social media, I could find some black people that don't make up the rest of black people that are fine with it. And what y'all gonna say about them? Oh, they're indoctrinated and they're woke and all this extra shit. Because be damned if you actually like seeing some shit. Now me, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. It's Harry Potter. Like, I got into Harry Potter late as you can. And by late, I mean the second Deathly Hallows movie came out late. Like, I was not... I wasn't really a Harry Potter fan, like talking about it. I got into it. It's cool, but it ain't like the greatest thing of all time. So if they remix it or do some other shit with it, I don't care. I see the video game was cool. Like, I ain't gonna lie, you know, hit a motherfucker with a Lingavia Leviosa, Havana Kedavra, you know what I'm talking about? But like, y'all doing this shit with Assassin's Creed, where it's like, oh my god, we got some Asians that are upset about it, so that means all of Asia is upset about it. Oh my god, the Japanese Asian government is trying to fight back against it, which wasn't true at all.
I mean, a few here and a few there.
You found one motherfucker who was a semi-unsuccessful politician who said that he was upset about it, and then turned it into the government's fighting back. I ain't never laugh out loud harder.
You're always gonna have those. Okay, yeah, you're always gonna have those people who are fine with getting whatever crumbs these studios throw at them. They're happy over the moon to take existing characters instead of demanding original ones. But let's be.
That's another thing. They got original shit that be coming out that y'all still shit on. They got original shit will come out that y'all still don't give a chance because it's like Hollywood indoctrination, all this shit. Shit be coming out and motherfuckers don't be fans of it. Motherfuckers don't like the shit. And then that's why you seeing motherfuckers like Robert Downey Jr. come back and fuck with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because Marvel, even though they admitted that, you know, a whole bunch of trial and error just led up to a whole bunch of error, these motherfuckers turn that shit and say, you know what, fuck it, bring all the old people back, and that way we'll be well and satiated together. Hi, chick tries, even though you're just gonna be here for a split second and leave. How dare you? How dare? Fuck! Why did I get sacked?
To be honest, a lot of black people, and I mean a lot of them, cannot stand this.
Well, the dumbasses did it. They actually race swapped Snake to be black. You know,
I miss you all the time, chick tries. You showing me one nigga who make it bro. You know how ass backwards this logic is for reasons that'll make me giggle and oh my god, Tony Gonzalez, nice catch.
Character that's vividly described in the books as being thin, having sallow skin, a long crooked nose, and black greasy hair. When they heard black and greasy, they must have thought, oh, let's cast a nigga in this role. It's so insulting, not only to the character of Snake, but to the actor that's going to be portraying him as well, because he is going to get so much shit thrown his way because y'all gave him a lazy race swap just because he's black. This backhanded way of representation going, here you go, little, here, you could be represented in Harry Potter too. Let's just race swap a character, the laziest form of representation, and give it to you. Here, clap for us, Nick. You just lost all the goodwill.
Not gonna lie, why did they make Snake black? I don't fucking know. Somebody had an idea. That's about as best as I could give you an answer. Somebody had an idea, because creativity is not the strong suit. And they just ran with it. I guess. But overall, like, this ain't got no stake in my game, because I wasn't gonna watch this shit anyway. It ain't got nothing to do with no race swap. It's just, fuck, I don't fucking know. I all this shit is not really deep in delve with me. Hi, Tommy Major.
That you had going into the show because you want a fucking virtue signal. I'm out of the show, and you just lost me and a majority of the people who were going to watch it because you want a race swap. Prepare for Ron to be turned black because you know he's the poorest one in the wizarding community, and he's a ginger. Rearrange the letters in the word ginger, and you'll see why they race swap him.
Wow. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Wait.
So look, I'm gonna just go ahead and like paint a broad brush for you. Screaming wow after saying that really don't like mean every nigga don't like this shit. Like, of course, people gonna react. Some people are gonna have like a genuine criticism towards this shit, like it's lazy and it's a race swap, which, whether you like it or not, genuine criticism. Then there's gonna be like the weird subsection of motherfuckers who take it way past that, and they gonna be annoying as fuck. And the conversation is gonna be taken away from actual criticism to, hey, we're gonna focus on you negative motherfuckers. And then they're gonna speak out against the negative motherfuckers, and motherfuckers who didn't say anything at all are going to pretend like they were offended by other people saying shit that they played no part in, and be like, they're calling all Harry Potter fans racist, and it's gonna be this sick ass fucking game again. Ooh, I'm just confused as what's happening. I'm learning about studios disrespecting black people, because that's the title of the video by Altori. But me personally, I don't feel disrespected. I guess because I'm not a Harry Potter fan. Like, it's cool. I'm not saying Harry Potter shit like Star Wars is shit, but Always take a dig at Star Wars fans. Yes, ooh, I got me a nice little flashing light that I can swing around. Ooh, I can stick my hand out and I can control the motherfucker's mind, but only in like convenient moments and not throughout every fucking significant moment that would actually be beneficial. Also, pick, stupid little weave. Oh, I ain't weaving.
Bro, you can't. I'm telling you, this is a little too coincidental. Wow. Damn.
And I made him quit.
Huh. Almost like it's a big key inside joke with these studios, right? Because I'm wondering, like, why?
I am not in on this joke at all because I don't care.
Is it only ever red hair? Okay, it's not only, but most of the time it's red haired characters, and they don't put other ethnicities in there, just black people. What are you trying to say, Hollywood? Well, we already know Hollywood's racist as fuck. It's just really funny how they try to pretend that they're not, while underhandedly, backhandedly proclaiming from the mountaintops that they are. And people.
Wait, I thought racism didn't exist. Like that's what I keep getting told, which is drastically hilarious.
People can't still see this. And I 100% believe these studios know exactly what they're doing. They know what they're doing because there's a large group of black people, especially black Americans, who are already hyper aware of how the media pits everybody against them. So what do these studios?
Yeah, but when they say it, they get told to shut the fuck up unless y'all agree with them or unless they say something that you agree with. Black people been saying this shit way before y'all started crying about movies and race wars. But because, oh my God, my Little Mermaid character got turned black. I agree, black people. Hollywood is racist. Man, suck my dick.
Studios do, they weaponize that sensitivity. They stir the pot, they make these ridiculous casting changes, and then they sit back and they watch the chaos unfold as they wrap their arms behind their head. And when people get mad, they turn around and act like us, the audience, and everybody else, including the black people that have a problem with it, are the problem. And I've talked about this many times before, but I swear to God, people will just see my thumbnail, not even watch the freaking video, and assume I'm saying the complete opposite of what I'm actually saying in the goddamn video.
I mean, that's a you fault, and also the comprehension level of the people, because based off a title, based off a thumbnail, you're inciting motherfuckers to think something about you and your video. So that's a mighty fine skill issue on your part. On top of, I believe the last time you had this conversation that I am aware of, it was in regards to the Spider-Man show, and you did not have sound opinions about that one.
And here's another thing that pisses me the fuck off, all right? Whenever they put a dark-skinned black woman, I mean very dark-skinned, we're not talking about Zendaya, right? Let's not play games. They always, usually, like 98% of the time, they make her either hyper-masculine, and you know what I mean when I say that, so stop playing.
No, I don't. I would appreciate if you would explain it instead of like your random code language, because I don't speak internet. I speak human being, and human being don't speak like this weird language.
Or just straight up unbearable. Remember Amber from...
Why do they always say her name like that? It's because they refuse to pronounce it correctly. And yet, we'll complain if... Never mind.
Invincible. By the way, Derek did a really good job on this with his breakdown of it. Long Beach Griffey as well, but they did tone her down in the later seasons. I will give them that. Later on, they toned her down when they realized people were calling them out and saying, okay, so why did you make her black and unbearable and disgusting? And the white Amber, which was the original Amber, super sweet, best girlfriend ever, super understanding. It made it that much more painful when she and Mark split up. Oh no, let's make her black, make her angry, make her a narcissist, make her horrible, make her selfish. I mean, let's be real, let's be honest. The Robin Hood show, remember that? They did the same thing with her. Look at...
I didn't watch a Robin Hood show. Did y'all see the fucking Powerpuff Girls fucking trailer? That shit was bad. Ew. I watched that shit and I'm like, ew. I don't know who came up with this idea, but ooh, that was bad. Ooh, I ain't gonna lie, I thought that was some skit. I thought it was a skit, but that was the actual thing, and I was just like, ooh. That was not good.
Basically any modern show at this point.
I told you. How about this?
Trixie does not do the giggly-headed, nail-painting, hair-braiding, boy-liking, like popcorn-nibbling flim-flam.
It's a trope that's so ubiquitous that it...
Now, what we not about to do is have a think piece conversation about Trixie. Like, that's what we not about to do. Cause that, you fucking showing me one clip of that bitch saying she don't do the flim flam, and you trying to say that shit derogatory. I don't know who you think you fooling, but you ain't fooling a motherfucker who goes back and watch these shows. It's the CW. What do you expect? You know what? I actually agree with you. Because now that I realize that was a CW show, it all makes sense. Because literally anybody who's ever watched even one, it don't even matter which one, you watch one CW show, you'll understand that what you saw from that Powerpuff Girl trailer really wasn't even that bad. It wasn't the worst thing. If you want objectively some of the worst fucking TV known to man, I defy you to go on the CW and type in a show called Riverdale. That is one of the worst fucking shows in human memory, and I will argue that to the death. Riverdale was dog shit. Yes, that show should be still on Netflix. I consumed that show. Why? Because Leon, in like the age of 19 to like 20, had nothing to watch, and he had a Netflix account, so he just started watching shows on Netflix, and unfortunately came across Riverdale, and that started the beginning of the end. Riverdale was that bad. Here's the thing. A lot of the CW shows, they all got something. All of them have something in common. A good first season, an amazing second season, and then a complete nosedive. With the exception of like shows like Legends of Tomorrow, because that was always bad. And like the second half of the first season of Supergirl, because that was bad, and then all downhill from there. Don't get me started on Arrow, because it's like, man, ain't no way y'all cock teeth. Ain't no way, like, ain't no way y'all turn a good concept into a snuff film shit fest. But you know what? What do I expect?
It affects our everyday expectation of how a black woman should act, be they real or fictional. She's known for her snaps, her neck turning, her anger, her pointed, witty comments.
I will hold up. Whoa, y'all, I don't know who edited this shit together. Horrible. You are trying to rewrite history on some of these characters. Sugar Mama was not a bad character. Whoa. Number 5, not a bad character. Whoa. Y'all might want to cool this down. Y'all might want to stick to speaking about Velma. See, because y'all not gonna win this argument. Now with a seasoned vet who don't do nothing but watch old shows.
Commentary and that over-the-top accent.
Now, if I write my name on a bag of Funyuns, it ain't your Funyuns.
And this is from Angel Manson's video. You can go check it out, the sassy black woman trope. But you can see the people's reception here. The women can't be soft. Especially if it's a dark-skinned female in modern times. She cannot be soft. She can't be feminine. She definitely cannot have a loving romance with a man. And before anybody twists my words, no, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with gay people, but why is it every single time there's a very dark-skinned woman that shows up, she's either angry, rude, or aggressive, or gay? Like, they're really out here perpetuating that stereotype and acting like they're doing black people a favor. It's actually insane and very insulting. And like this person says, I just want more soft-spoken, feminine, introverted black women in media that I can relate to. Thank you. Then on the flip side...
These bitches don't be that, though. Listen, you know the sick part is y'all can sit there and be like, why don't I get this version? I pose this question. Which one is seen more? Which one is, for some reason, celebrated a little bit? I was gonna scream if he caught that fucking ball. Which one is celebrated just a little bit more by not just like Hollywood, but the regular American citizen? It is the more bombastically ignorant. And so when a fucking TV show sees what's popular amongst the black people, they're going to want to try to emulate that. That's a dot. He dropped the fucking ball! Like, they want black characters to act white. See, and that's another thing. There is no, I whiffed the fuck out of this. There is no like acting white. You're just acting like yourself, and like ignorant motherfuckers will call that acting white, which is something I had to deal with a lot in my childhood. They're stupid. One of the problems is a drastic level of we're gonna fucking promote all this negative shit and then bring the negative shit out and then keep pushing it, and the audience is gonna eat it up, which they do. So, you know, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Which came first, the disrespect from corporations or the disrespect from the regular people?
You got very dark-skinned black men, and what do? They either turn them into thugs, drug dealers, or word on the street is Power is actually a pretty good show. Power is a pretty good show. So, like, what are we doing here? Like, what necessarily are we doing here when we use Power as our example here? Or flamboyantly gay.
See, you went from like one to the other. Now, I don't know anything about this character on the fucking screen, but I do know about Power, and I do know for fuck certain there's a drastic mischaracterization going on here.
Like, why is that the only representation? The only ones? Like, what is actually going on? And how are people not?
I only remember seeing online people like the new Doctor Who from Doctor Who. Well, that's the only place you're gonna fucking see that. You're also gonna find people who don't like it. That's not really the gotcha of the century there, that people online liked or disliked something.
Seeing this for what it is, it's softcore racism. And the worst part is these studios hide behind this plausible deniability. They set this up, they sit back, and they know the audience are gonna fight it out, and it makes it seem as though, oh, the fans are racist, when in reality, black people are speaking up about this too. They just ignore them. And I don't wanna hear the excuse, oh, this is just how black characters have always been portrayed. No, it's not. Look at what our grandparents and grandparents, and our grandparents had, and even our great-grandparents. If you actually go back and you look at things like what my husband's making me watch, all the old Star Trek shows, there was so much representation in there from black people and other races.
You could have said, wait, so do you niggas crying about this shit hate Boondocks? Yeah, I don't need to be around this type of black people. These type of, I want to make sure that everyone sees only positive things and not like try to grasp reality just a little bit. Because here's reality. There are introverted, quiet black women. So ghetto ones, there's loud ones, there's soft ones, there's soft-spoken ones, there's ignorant ones, there's beautiful ones, there's fat ones. Much like every other fucking ethnicity on the fucking planet. But because a lot of y'all want to live in this really hilariously looking bubble where, no, if you do this, it hurts my feelings, I gotta have these stupid conversations that make no fucking sense.
Races or other ethnicities, I hate saying races. We're all one race. But it's so weird how they make it seem like in the past there wasn't any representation when people actually had better representation and more representation than what they're having now.
Whoa, hey! Yeah, the cops outside.
What?
No, I just kidding. I'm just playing.
Well, what are you doing? Shows like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Cosby Show, and even The Family Matters, they had successful, well-rounded black families. They weren't all thugs. They weren't aggressive. They weren't a bunch of stereotypes. They were classy, wholesome, and normal people. They could still...
Saying normal people and showing me Family Matters, knowing full well nothing that went on in that fucking crib was normal. Yeah, bro, you playing a fucking funny little game here. Not gonna lie to you. Also, these type of shows can't come out today. Why? Because a lot of the episodes that those shows, specifically family members, had would be a bunch of people, including you, crying about how things are woke and how they're trying to indoctrinate people and to be divisive. What are we doing here?
Still have their own cultures and traditions without every woman being the angry, sassy stereotype and every man being hyper-aggressive drug dealers. And I showcase this also with...
Hey, wait a minute. Didn't the show at one point in time come out, especially with a reboot, and got shit on, but it actually had like positive black representation? What was that show? Oh yeah, The Proud Family. And then motherfuckers wanted to get mad at The Proud Family as it came out in the early 2000s because of a Kwanzaa episode, and only that, because that was the only episode that ever fucking existed.
The clip that I had used back at the time when I was doing something similar in terms of topic by Michael Bancroft, as you can see here on my screen. And yet here we are with modern studios regressing and doing the same bullshit, but they're only doing it to black people. Where's the same energy for Asian characters? Where's this energy for Indians or Latinos?
The reboot was bad, subjective.
Oh, that's right. It's only black people that get this treatment. I wonder why. People wake up. And the thing is, if these studios actually wanted to...
Did this motherfucker bring up Lando Calrissian? I see, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'm not defending this franchise worth a fuck. But you can't sit here and say you got a problem with Lando Calrissian.
To be more inclusive, or if they're trying to adhere to some kind of law or internal mandate about adding more non-white characters, why not just make a new character like they did with Daryl Dixon? I know it's a crazy idea, but instead of hijacking an already established character and changing everything about them, essentially turning them into an entirely different person while still calling them the same name, they could just introduce someone new who actually fits the vision that they were going for. And before anyone starts acting like this is an impossibility or something, The Walking Dead did it. They did it multiple times. They didn't feel the need to randomly change Rick or Daryl's entire identity to make them more diverse. I mean, Daryl was a new character, whatever, but the main characters I'm talking about, they just created new characters and it worked. And to be honest, like, these people already hate J.K. Rowling anyway. They're out here actively trying to erase her from her own franchise. So it's not like they'd be against adding a completely new character to the story. If anything, it would let them claim some kind of creative high ground. Like, if they hate her so much, why are you even using her stuff anyway? Also, just saying, non-white doesn't mean only black people. Like, these people do realize that, right? There are plenty of other groups out there: Korean, Japanese, Spanish, any Latino, Puerto Rican.
Are they? Because in America, the only real issues are between the whites and the blacks. Like, come on.
Guyanese, like indigenous people who rarely get thrown a bone in these situations. But no, it's always the same exact thing that they do. They take an already known...
But the same thing could be said about the Good Times reboot, which is also bad. That is also subjective. Like, I find the Good Times reboot terrible. There is a group of people on this planet who find it perfectly fine and good. There are people who find the Everybody Hates Chris reboot perfectly fine and good. I haven't seen it to give it an opinion. Y'all forgetting, like, when you try to play this game, like, your opinion is immediately invalidated by it all being subjective. And I mean, fuck! I hate that cheesy ass shit. God damn, man, fuck your opinion. All this shit is subjective. You fucking run around in a fucking hug box finding out, you know what? Fuck being diplomatic about this shit. You fucking losers run around in these fucking hug boxes making sure you hang around motherfuckers who agree with your fucking opinion. Then when I come in this fucking room and tell you plain and fucking simple, hey, all this shit is fucking subjective. Now, oh, but this is also bad, and this is also bad, and this is also bad, and this is also subjective, and this is also subjective, and this is also subjective, and this is also subjective. This is not based in any fact. It is based on what you are interested in. If you are not interested in a fucking poorly written story, you ain't gotta watch that shit. But guess what? You and I are not the law. Listen, Star Wars fucking sucks. Subjective. This game got me mad. Star Wars sucks. The story sucks. That weird green looking creature sucks. Why the fuck does he talk like that? Obi-Wan, pretty decent. Anakin, pretty decent until I realized he was Vader, and then I just stopped caring. Y'all not really winning any conversation in a battle of, oh, but my friends all didn't like it. Who the fuck are y'all? I swear, out of my soul, I was irked as a motherfucker when I had to hear Gothic say nobody liked the movie. That was completely subjective. And it's just like, what? And then she capped it with, well, a lot of people in the chat also didn't like the movie. I'm sorry, when the fuck did you niggas become the law on what to like and not like? The fuck? Hey, and this is the sick part. If you like something, cool. If you don't like something, cool. But when y'all sit here and try to make another motherfucker either like it or not, you're losing me. For example, I am playing South of Midnight. Why? Because I'm interested. I can't tell you how many motherfuckers bombarded me with Sweet Baby Ink this and Sweet Baby Ink that. And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Matter of fact, I got a better example. Where is that? Nope. Where's the love? And I do mean love. Spider-Man 2. 100%ed Spider-Man 2. Guess what? Subjective. You know why? Because they got motherfuckers who didn't like it. They got motherfuckers who complained about it. This is a fucking wacky world. Look, Spider-Man 2. See, right there. There you go. He thinks it's mid. Or she. That motherfucker thinks it's mid. I think it's amazing. That's it. I ain't gotta convince you motherfuckers what I like. 2K16 would love to go back and play. Do it. The fuck? They can play it. I can do that shit right now. We deserve so much more. See? He wanted more. I'm pretty satiated with what we got. I stopped caring about a DLC once I realized that they really was never going to drop DLC for that fucking game. But I knew that, or at least I felt it in my soul, a year ago. Or would it be 2 years? No, it would have been a year ago. And then when they just randomly announced it, I was like, oh, well, damn. See y'all for Spider-Man 3. And look, and my theory will still stand. My theory is Peter's gonna die. Peter's gonna die. Goblin's gonna kill him. And Miles is gonna have to fucking finish the story. And motherfuckers are gonna be mad at that. Motherfuckers are gonna think that's gonna suck. And you know what I'm gonna think? I'm in for a ride because I'm gonna love that shit. I am gonna love that shit. I'm gonna have fun with it. If you don't, that's you. I can't do shit for you. But this silly little fucking game of, oh, I found 3 black people that don't like it, so black people are taking charge and speaking up. Are they? Because unless these motherfuckers look at this and they delay it as all fuck, this show's still gonna come out. People gonna talk about it. It's gonna get some traction for a hot little minute. There's probably gonna be rumblings for a second season. It gonna have rumblings for a second season. Then that shit either gonna get canceled or not canceled. And we gonna be halitosis fresh and fruited from there. Filmies. No, everybody should not be able to say what they want about media because there's like that weird corner that completely destroys the conversation of actual critique so that we got to focus on like unhinged motherfuckers DMing like actors and executive producers and writers some heinous ass shit. We ain't got time for all that. If you don't like some shit, voice how you don't like it. Talk about how gameplay is bad. Talk about how some shit don't really format in a way and hopefully it makes sense because all the fucking quote unquote critiques about Assassin's Creed are fucking terrible. These critiques about this Assassin's Creed game are terrible. And the more that they promote that game and I'm seeing the controls, I'm thinking I might buy it. I originally wasn't gonna buy it because Ubisoft is fucking terrible at making games, and what they showed before they delayed it and went MIA for like 2 months was the stiffest shit I've ever seen of a AAA game. But then they delayed it, and ever since then, the gameplay look a lot better. And it's enticing me to give it a chance, but I don't know just yet. I ain't got the full verdict just yet. Maybe I need to see a little bit more. And maybe just maybe, and maybe just maybe, and maybe just maybe, and maybe just maybe, I'll be satiated. Yes. I break you. Yes. You are correct. That is the point that I'm trying to get across. All of this shit is subjective. I wouldn't buy it on launch. You pose a very great conversation that's being had about the WWE 2K game, because I saw a really dumbass discourse where motherfuckers were trying to make the argument that if you pre-ordered like the deluxe editions of the game, you shouldn't be complaining because, and I quote, the game hasn't been fully released yet, which is the dumbest fucking statement ever. It is the dumbest fucking statement ever. The game is out. The game is fully released. The game is able to be played. Fuck the weak early access. That's not a private beta. You could do that. You could get that shit right now. You're smart. You didn't spend $100+ on it. You can wait a week for a wrestling game to be $70 for some fucking reason. That was horrendous to fucking see. But motherfuckers find any way to defend a game company that come out with broken fucking product like the WWE fucking games. And yesterday I almost bought it. I almost bought the shit. I swear to you, I almost bought WWE 2K20, 5? But I said no. I didn't do it. The complaints about historical actually come because users claim it was historically accurate. I feel like they course corrected that. Or if they never said that, I remember them pulling up a very funny ass statement because the historical accurate point made by anybody, y'all not playing them games. That fucking sandbox of plucking historical shit and then letting you do whatever the fuck you want within a story. That was never something I could get behind as historically accurate. I just looked at that shit and I said, fuck it. Let me be a pirate and slay some shit. And now I could be a fucking ninja and a samurai, potentially if I buy the game. It's like if I buy that shit and that shit good and I say that shit good, not a one of you motherfuckers can tell me otherwise. Y'all must have forgot I'm fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme in this bitch. Is Twitter down? Why the fuck can I pull up the Assassin's Creed Twitter account? Because I would have to scroll a long fucking way down to find this shit. Oh my god, Twitter, why are you down? Twitter? Come back up, Twitter. No, I don't remember Leonardo da Vinci learning all these fucking things. No, I don't remember this. Oh my god, Twitter down. No, how am I gonna see my tweets? Wait, is this still up?
I love you so much.
Okay, we might just sit there. We might, depending on how I feel like after I learn, because I want to learn and I want to make sure everything is correct. I say that because of bug issues, bro. Unfortunately, no matter how much, bro, when Grand Theft Auto 6 come out, that bitch gonna have bugs in it. And that game, it take like 20 years for each Grand Theft Auto game. I don't think we're all living to see a Grand Theft Auto 10 because we are currently like waiting for a sixth one. I don't think a lot of us are gonna be alive for a Grand Theft Auto 10. Some of us might not even be alive for GTA 7. But fuck, man, we just gotta get excited for some shit, buddies. For the PS6, bold of you to assume that shit might come on the PS6. Bold of PlayStation to fucking drop the numbers that like 97 million people are playing PlayStation products, but 49 million of them are playing on the PlayStation 4, and motherfuckers are wondering why. Or I don't know, maybe because the fucking PS5 is like overpriced as fuck. It's like overpriced as fuck. How the fuck is Yu-Gi-Oh? Who said Yu-Gi-Oh is woke? What did I miss? Who the fuck? Wait a minute. Who the fuck said Yu-Gi-Oh is woke? First of all, if that's woke, I'm a KKK member, because what the fuck? Oh, did I miss something? Who the fuck? PS6 but no disc input? Fuck, PS6 with no controllers, no cables, no nothing. Wires sold separately. Like, listen, that's how gaming dies, when these companies start really fucking trying to nickel and dime y'all. Igen, did you say Yu-Gi-Oh is woke? I'm gonna get mad if Yu-Gi-Oh I'm gonna get mad at Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel, not because it's woke, but because people play meta and casual. That's not him saying. It's not him saying that shit is woke. Let some air out the ball, man. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I ain't gonna lie, I'd be devastated if I found out y'all niggas was having woke conversations about Yu-Gi-Oh, a fucking card game. I would be kicking and screaming in this motherfucker. Like, I would actually lose my mind if you motherfuckers started having conversations about Yu-Gi-Oh being woke. Like, I'm not even joking. I would spaz the fuck out. Yu-Gi-Oh sucks. Bakugan's better.
Black and white character, sometimes literally, and they just, hey, let's just turn off the lights, you know, because they know it's gonna cause backlash. They know. Don't make them seem as though they're naive. Don't even for a second fall for that freaking lie. They know what they're doing.
Is this needed? Now, I'm not a Harry Potter stan at all, but I do have an opinion whereby I just think it's not needed. It's not needed. I feel like the character is white. It's okay for the character to stay white, and in this
no, but I need my black representation. Without my Negro representation, how will I feel as I grow up in Hollywood? You know what I'm talking about?
It's just, I just don't think it's worth it. But my husband has a different view, as he always does. Go on, Latif.
You know what, yeah? Before, I would always be on the stance of, nah, you know what? Keep everything the same. Like, you know me already. I'm a big James Bond fan, innit?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, we know.
So, in terms of when people saying you make James Bond black, I didn't want that personally.
Yeah, yeah.
Because for me, there's no need.
Yeah, James Bond. He's white. Yeah,
it's like,
fine.
So it's like now doing a Harry Potter. We all know and love Harry Potter as a white boy that wears glasses. That's what we know and love.
Yeah, yeah.
To change that is unnecessary.
Well, it's not Harry Potter himself, it's Snape.
Yeah, I get it, but I'm just using that as an example. I'm just saying it doesn't need to happen.
And then they can play victim if people complain, because like, oh, it's because he's black. See, watch, you're all in your mouths because he's black, right? Like, if you really want to add representation, if you really want to be inclusive, don't take shortcuts. Just write a good new character. But no, that would require effort.
So usually I am all for black people getting roles, but I'm gonna really need to see Snape played by a greasy white man. Give the people what they want.
Adam Driver. I can't be the only one that thought of this. Wait, she got it on the screen. Bitch, you stole my... You know what? Fuck you. Keep him black. How dare you steal my idea?
That is a greasy white man.
And some people are saying, well, what if they can't, right? Because of some weird legal or contractual reason, then why is it so crazy to just adhere to the source material, which in this case is the movies? Like, seriously, why is that so hard?
No, that's not the source material. The books are the source material.
As I've said before in other videos, I had no problem with the race swapping in House of the Dragon when they changed the Valerians. And that's because we hadn't seen them in an on-screen representation before. I totally understand why book readers are upset, and their feelings are valid. I'm not gonna say they're not, because they already knew what those characters were supposed to look like.
Nerds, who told y'all to read?
They were already introduced to all the world building and lore, so I understand that. But when you're changing mediums, like with the How to Train Your Dragon series, there's a little bit more flexibility. And in the case for House of the Dragon, it actually worked for the story very well. It made sense, and they also acted their asses off. But here, we're talking about Harry Potter. The movies are already a visual medium. They're iconic. Professor Snape, who was played by the legendary Alan Rickman, is one of the most well-known and beloved characters in that entire franchise. People already have a clear—
It's because he didn't die until the last movie. If I was Voldemort, I'd have been waxed this dude. Like, what the fuck you talking about? You constantly failing to fuck up this fucking little child. Like, I told you to beat this little motherfucker up. Why the fuck is he still running around happy and smiling, you stupid motherfucker? You fired.
Their mental image of him because they saw him for a decade. I'm sure the new actor is really talented. I'm not even saying he won't act well in the role. Look at him. Look at him in this. He's acting his ass off. Like, he clearly has the acting chops for this from what I've seen of him. But he simply does not fit the character. And that's a problem. One of the biggest things about Snape that made him creepy and unsettling and memorable was the way he looked. This guy does not give me that, unless they're gonna put a hell of a lot of makeup on this guy. Look at him. I look at him and I'm like, he's so cute. He doesn't look like Snape typically, but he also looks freaking adorable. Like, it's like putting Childish Gambino in a role like this. There's just some people who don't have that unsettling look, and he doesn't. Maybe he can act like that, make himself look like that, but bro, Snape was pale and creepy and vampiric. I don't think it's a coincidence that they had someone play an individual who looks like he had never seen sunlight in his freaking life. He wasn't supposed to have a warm, soft puppy dog features. His whole presence was supposed to be off-putting, including the way that he looked. This was for a reason. The entire package is what made him so effective. See, imagine having this dude dressed in all black with really black hair and this floating white ghost-like face come—
But I wouldn't be able to see him. I had to. It had to be done. Somebody was gonna make the joke. I might as well make it, because I can make it, because I'm a victim. If you make it, you're racist. Remember that, children.
Like, it's just— and I'm with everyone else. If they really wanted a new Snape, why didn't they choose Adam Driver, bro? He—
Oh, fuck y'all. It was my idea, and all you motherfuckers stole my idea. Fuck y'all.
would have been perfect. Like, not trying to really, you know, insult him. Like, I'm not trying to— he looks unsettling. Like, he first thing I noticed when
I'm not trying to insult, but this man who I want to be in this role, he looks unsettling. I hate humanity for instilling this level of communication into everybody. Because what do you mean? I'm not trying to insult you, but you do look like you're about to kill yourself if I breathe a word of any insecurity towards you. Like, the fuck?
I saw him for the first time, I was like, Jesus, like, that sounds really bad. But you know what I'm trying to say. There's just some people that have those freaking faces where you're like, damn, you'd make a great monster in Hollywood.
I'm not trying to insult you, but you look like a sewer rat.
And someone might come up to them and say that, and they can either be very offended by it or say, well, give me money to play it then. And guess what? They do. He looks very unsettling. He has this naturally gaunt, brooding look, a very long face, and a, you know, okay, he's kind of cute here, but still, he's got that— like, if he was walking down the street towards me and he had that face, I'd be like, I think I might cross the street now. Like, that's the kind of face that he wears.
I'm not trying to insult you, but I just want you to know, if we were walking down the same street, I'm gonna be uncomfortable enough to go to the next fucking street. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? I despise this type of communication. Like, I despise it. You are insulting somebody and trying to paper it with, yeah, I'm not trying to, but you look like a fucking swamp creature. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, but I hope your mother dies. Hey, I'm not trying to make you feel like insecure, but if we were walking down the same street and I saw you, I'm walking in the other direction, you creepy fuck. Oh, God. What the fuck? Oh.
And I know he's not trying to look like that. Some people just have that natural face. It's creepy. He even has that deep, slow voice that could easily have been tweaked to match Snape's eerie, measured way of how he talks.
So when I actually got paid to be an actor, I don't know why. Again, well, I do know why, because I wanted a pair of Jordan.
He looks like a Snape. He could be Snape's son, bro. He could be his brother. Like, if
this is very true.
Someone told me that the dude on the left is the younger version of the dude on the right, and I didn't do any research, I'd believe them. And you could train him to have the accent. Throw a little pale makeup on him, give him the green.
I just came in and I heard Leon say, I hope your mother does. I need further context. No, I'm not giving you. Oh my God. Why can't these 2K games give me this vibe back? And you can't tell me they can't.
Greasy black hair, and boom, perfect casting. Not that hard. That's what people used to cast people who look like the characters, and people would have loved it because it actually respects what made Snape such an unnerving presence in the first place. And Adam Driver, I don't know if he's as good an actor as the person that they chose, but
just keep going, huh? Just keep shitting on him.
they could work with him. But nope. Instead, they went the complete opposite direction and they swapped him out for someone who has none of the physical traits that.
I ain't gonna lie, bro looked like a red pill podcaster, and that should be the reason why he doesn't get this acting role. Like, what the fuck? Put a short SM7B in front of him and let him spend like an hour talking about women. Like, I don't think you know what?
That made Snape.
Oh Jesus! Oh Lord! Oh Jesus! Oh God!
And if people are gonna say, oh, it's just about casting the best actor for the job, really? Then why does that only ever seem to go one way? What, are they gonna give Hermione Korean actresses now, or give Ron black or brown hair? No, exactly. This is why it feels like a setup. It's not just about casting diversely or modernizing the story. It's about deliberately antagonizing the fan base because they know exactly what kind of reaction they're gonna get. Because to be honest, when people inevitably express frustration, the studios are just gonna turn around and gaslight everybody and act like the audience is just a bunch of racists who can't handle change. They want that controversy because it keeps them in the headlines. It's a distraction from the fact that they can't actually write anything new or creative. It's lazy, it's predictable, it's transparent, it's so obvious at this point. And look, I get it. Actors, they gotta eat too. I'm not knocking anyone for taking a job, but at some point, there's something to be said about having pride in the roles that you accept. Because let's be real, there's a lot of people that don't catch the shade that these studios are throwing. They're made to feel like it's this huge honor, you're being chosen for something super great, you're the chosen one. Chosen one!
I'm coming!
But the truth is, it's not an honor, it's a trap. And this is a lose-lose situation.
He looks like the one red pill dude that taught you how to make your dick bigger. I'm so glad I don't consume this shit in my algorithm, because the fuck are you talking about?
Let's say that this actor that they chose, right, can act his ass off, which I believe that he can. Let's say he's like super talented. I mean, he's handsome, he's charismatic, he's everything an actor should be. Wonderful. But the second the race swapping controversy starts, which let's be honest, they know, the studios know it's gonna come because they know they fucked up, the studio's just gonna shrug and let him take all the heat. They do not care. They just throw him into the fire and walk away. They do the same thing every single time. And now this man is stuck in a position where he's not just dealing with criticism of the casting choice, but he becomes the face of backlash. That's how his big send-off is. And if he decides to speak up and say he's a victim of racism...
Abby and Preach talked about him. I'm so glad, like, I guess I didn't see this fucking video. Like, I'm so glad. And I'm not gonna watch it because I don't need that in my algorithm. So you know what? I'm cool.
Because of all the negativity, it only makes it worse. Because now the conversation shifts away from, hey, why are they disrespecting the source material? Which in this case, I don't care about the book. Look at what the movies, we already have on-screen representation and establishment of this character. It turns into, wow, look at all these bigots attacking this actor. So congratulations, you didn't just make this dark-skinned man a target, you also set up a narrative to turn him into a victim, which is what...
And it's gonna happen because while there'll be motherfuckers who actually criticize how race swaps are indeed lazy, there's gonna be that 1% that is gonna be blown into 100%, and then motherfuckers are gonna pretend like they're included in that conversation. No, fool, well, they not. Like, I can sit here and say with confidence, there are racist fans in every fucking form of entertainment. Does that mean all of them? Fuck no. I know when you motherfuckers talk about how anime watchers just jerk off to little girls, I know you're not talking about me, because I'm watching grown men beat the piss out of people. I'm watching gore. Like, what the fuck?
Hollywood always does with black people. And that is very cruel. These studios know exactly what they're doing. They're using these actors as pawns.
This shit not cruel, that's business.
In these little PR stunts that they're doing.
Shape it up, ladies. We got money to make.
It's very disgusting. And if you're sitting there asking yourself, well, why are people so mad? It ain't a big deal. Fair enough. But also,
it really ain't. The fucking cost of living going up. You think I'm about to? You think when I turn this stream off, I'm gonna be thinking about this shit?
So ask yourself why it's not a big deal. Because if you're
because it's a movie. Because it's a movie, and I've seen this fucking song and dance like 50 fucking times throughout the past 2 years. Motherfuckers get mad. Motherfuckers take like the snippet of people that fucking overblow it. Motherfuckers call motherfuckers racist. Motherfuckers defend themselves. The movie come out, it's either good or bad. We worry about a sequel either coming out or being canceled. Mazel tov for the next day. How the meme go? I've played these games before. If
you really think about it, don't black actors deserve better than this? If your answer is no, then that's a whole
no
thing that you need to take inventory of.
They do, and they get it. I keep trying to promote. No, I should not say promote like I work for these people. I demand you fuckers watch On My Block. It's on Netflix. I know you hungry Mongolians have Netflix accounts. Or I know you bootleg shows. That's right. I know. And I demand you fuckers watch that. I demand you fuckers watch Abbott Elementary. That probably the best shit on TV right now. I'm not even gonna lie. Motherfuckers talking about some so-called Severance. I watched Severance. Trash. Garbage. I watched that. It's trash. But fucking, they got shows that feature black people that aren't just you motherfuckers complaining about a fucking rebooted movie or show. You gotta be willing to fucking see the forest for the trees. And y'all fucking getting confused by some leaves.
And unpack that. For all the progressive flag waving that these studios do, for all the self-righteous finger pointing at racist audience members, for all the people quick to call anyone criticizing this, a grifter and whatever name
some of y'all are
that they choose that week, these people do not actually care about black people. Either that or they're so used
and neither do like that weird collection of grifters.
to getting the bare minimum.
There's a lot of motherfuckers that don't care about them niggas.
That they've convinced themselves it's something to be grateful for. And look, if you're genuinely completely fine with that, then okay.
Hold on, stop this fucking stream. Solo leveling fucking sucks. That's just a wannabe rip-off edgier version of Sword Art Online. I will argue this shit to hell. I will go to heavens and the earths and pull down every angel and every sinning devil and fucking beat it into you motherfuckers. That solo leveling is fucking garbage. A better animated wannabe edgy fucking version of Sword Art Online, and I will not have this fucking tyranny and this propaganda fucking spread upon the ether. I'm not arguing this shit with you motherfuckers. You know what? I rewatched Sword Art Online because it was brought to my attention that they had like 2 more seasons since the fucking like gun season. I rewatched the whole series. Bro, Sword Art Online is goated. I don't know who the fuck started this trend of saying it's trash. That shit got it. And guess what? Subjective! Keep yapping. I'll slap the shit out you niggas. You motherfuckers do crack.
Fair, cool, but understand that how people treat you is how you let them treat you. If you let them feed you scraps and call,
I mean, twofold on that one. How you let them treat you and based on what they see you do and what you allow.
At a feast, they're gonna keep doing it, and eventually they'll become worse about how they do it. That's just how this works.
But look at all these motherfucking solo leveling fans. You motherfuckers watch School Days. I'm not arguing with you, motherfuckers. I'm not. You know what? That's the sound of me raising my nose up at you motherfuckers.
Works. It might seem like, oh, it's just a character, it's just a casting choice, but it's the principle. A lot of things in life are based on principle. If someone rudely throws money,
you can't just pull out the subjective. Bro, this is all subjective. Like, you think solo leveling is good? I think Sword Art Online is good. All of this shit is subjective. That's my trump card over it all. Because it is.
Money in your face and literally spits on the ground, or the money that they're about to give you before helping you, they stomp on the bills, wipe their ass with it or whatever, and then toss that bill in your face in front of a crowd of people.
Shit, he out 50 big ones. That ain't my fucking problem. You can piss on that shit. As long as I'm able to use that as a transaction, I'm out of there. Cause guess what? That shit not staying.
Would that not bother you? Like, even if it's $100 or $1,000, would that not sit not well with you? Even though you're technically getting money and it's free, would you not feel some type of way about how it was given to you? Wouldn't it feel way better if someone actually handed it to you with respect, or that you earned it on your own?
Man, fuck all that. Fuck that shit. I wanna fucking. I don't have enough points. How many fucking points do I got? I don't have enough points. Oh, I have 4. What the fuck? I got 400. Oh, it cost the. Oh my god! Wait, I wasn't even looking at this shit. Oh my god. Yeah, this is where 2K got hungry as fuck. Cause what the fuck? This is definitely where 2K got hungry as fuck. Oh my god, what happened to Virgil? Oh my god, what happened to fucking Virgil? Sick work. I say stick work. I say dick work. just oh my god, what happened to Virgil?
Instead of it, treating you like an afterthought or treating you like shit. Oh, we're getting money, so it doesn't matter. Really? Does it?
Yes, you can still play My Career on 16. What are you talking about?
That's exactly the difference I'm talking about here. And as
you just can't go online.
adults, we need to recognize this kind of treatment for what it is. Because if we don't, people will continue walking all over us.
You deserve to be walked over with this fucking Fox emo. Let's count our chickens before we start trying to make them motherfuckers roost here. All right, it's time, boys. It's time. I gotta learn about Sweet Baby. It's time I learn about Sweet Baby. Because if I don't learn about Sweet Baby, then everything's gonna get baby. I need to learn about Sweet Baby. Yeah, I think this would be a good enough video. I think it's 47 minutes. I think. Now, if I learn something useful, sure. If I walk away from this thinking what I already thought, well, then you've let me down, random white man with glasses who has an action figure on a bookshelf. Nerd.
So you've been seeing these logos floating around. You're hearing words like Sweet Baby and Ghost Baby and Gamergate Round 2, and you want to know.
What do you guys hear? What's the scuttlebutt?
I am here to attempt a brief overview of just what in the heck is going on at present, and some historical context to explain why this is such a big controversy. So here's how this is going to go, and I'll have timestamps because it's a very large subject. First, in as balanced a way as I can manage, I'll tell you what this company is and why they're in the news in the first place. Then I'll briefly explain what Gamergate was, so you can understand why people are calling this Gamergate Part 2. Once we have the history lesson out of the way, then I'm going to get a bit more editorial, and I'll talk about some of the large developments that have been happening in the last couple of weeks since this story broke, and my personal feelings are going to seep in a little more at that time. And finally, I've got some personal thoughts about video games and what should or should not be in them, so feel free to bounce around and find a section that
white people should be eradicated. Never mind.
Suits you, because you are the audience, and this video is for you, not for me. I can already see that being balanced is going to be hard. Hey, what's not hard is hitting that like button to help this video spread. Oh, I'm good. First up, modern day. You've perhaps been hearing the name Sweet Baby Inc. or SBI a lot. You might have also heard something about Gamergate or Gamergate Part 2. Sweet Baby is a consulting firm working in the video game industry. According to their own website, they want to tell more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the industry. They want to make games more inclusive. Alright, so typical DEI consultant seems pretty standard. Every industry has this now, and studios hire them to raise ESG scores to get investment money. The buzzwords are all here: marginalized talent, diverse voices. There are plenty of these types of companies. They also do narrative development, so helping studios write quest stories or characters or storylines. Scrolling down to their projects reveals a variety of titles and a couple of big names, especially Spider-Man 2 and God of War Ragnarok. Now, I personally have not played Spider-Man 2 because Baldur's Gate 3 happened, but reports indicate it has some of this odd, diverse content popped in. Main character Miles has a deaf girlfriend, and there is a voluntary side quest revolving entirely around her deafness. You've got your BLM mural, inconsequential items that either feel like tacked on box checking or a breath of fresh air, depending on your political stance. But
Or, if you have my political stance, which is we're all gonna die, it was a side mission. I ain't think nothing of it. It was a side mission. It was a side mission that I fucking did right after, well, not right after, consuming all of the main missions and doing the side missions to fucking have like a breather, which is like just randomly walking around spray painting as a deaf girl. You know what? Pretty all right. Pretty well circumstantial. And overall, I think it's pretty good. I think makes us all the friends we wanted to be along the way. I'm trying to facilitate a goofy ass fucking trade right now.
But doesn't alter the story or gameplay in any meaningful way. I did play God of War, however, and the big to-do with that one was this character, Angrboda. Everything about this game is based on Norse mythology, so people felt that it was a little odd to portray her as black, so everyone assumes that Sweet Baby influenced that since it's their whole mission statement. But again, no big story changes or whatever, so hey, enjoy your backpats. The important question is, how's the game? This is a running theme in this whole discussion because it shows the different priorities in the gaming industry, especially between studios and their consultants and the audience. My issue with Angrboda and Loki is that their sections were boring and clunky. Loki is the son of the titular God of War, and in this game, he gets angsty and becomes a playable character, but he's weak and slow compared to this hulking mass of destruction the player is used to. So playing as him was frustrating. The game included these sections of Loki hanging out with Angrboda doing slow-moving fetch quests while she wavered between world-building info dumps and attempts at coy mystery. All around, these segments were a bad experience. It's not possible to quantify how much influence Sweet Baby had on this game. We only know they advertised being involved, and the game contains this obvious race swap, and the sections containing her are, in my opinion, the worst parts. There's also discussion on whether Sweet Baby influenced the narrative change of main character Kratos getting softer in this game. Now, I'm not sure if I'm in the minority.
Am I the only one that fucking saw any? Am I the only one that fucking played the God of War games and realized that if they kept making them, Kratos was finally going to fucking get lighter in his fucking approach and achieve nirvana?
On this one, but I thought it was an organic direction for the character.
Thank you!
It's a long-running series, and this guy has rage murdered the entire Greek pantheon and then went to Norse land and still brought destruction there as well. So,
and in the middle of all of that was like, fuck, I need to find some fucking peace.
It makes sense to me that this older character is now looking back on his violent life with regret and trying to change.
I'm good.
But back to Spider-Man, the boring side character mechanic is there as well. The player is forced to play as Mary Jane from time to time. This was in the first game. Gary, can you tell us who disliked these sections?
Everyone!
Correct. This time around, they seem to have given Mary a stun gun, completely missing the point of the complaints. Many speculate that Sweet Baby may have influenced them.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was a drastic fucking overstep. Like, I didn't like the Mary Jane missions of the first game. Definitely didn't like them in the second game.
To change MJ's character model as well, this is a big complaint lately in gaming. Some studios seem to be making their female models purpose.
Didn't he have a daughter and a minigame pushing her away with great difficulty in the original trilogy? I'm just stuck on the fact that he killed his whole family. This man got tricked into killing his family, and he's not supposed to eventually just be like, fuck, I want to change. This is sick work and stick work.
Ugly, and the journalistic retorts to those complaints are part of this whole Sweet Baby drama. We're getting there. Sweet Baby also worked on non-disliked games. I haven't played Alan Wake 2, but that one got positive reception if I recall correctly, despite some complaints about a race swap. The last game to mention here for now is Sable, and I gave it a shot because it happened to be free last month. It is awful from a gameplay perspective, and the writing is wooden as well. Sweet Baby says they helped with the writing, so not a good sign. I'll mention the latest game they're involved with later in the video, as it exemplifies not only what Sweet Baby does, but issues that the game industry has even without these consultants. Okay, so they seem to be a pretty basic DEI PI consultant, and some of the games they have helped with have bad parts that may or may not have been influenced by Sweet Baby. So why are you seeing this in your newsfeed suddenly? What made this particular story blow up was a little phenomenon called the Streisand effect. You might recall some funny girl math where the singer sued a photographer for $50 million because his website contained aerial photos of the California coast, and one of the houses pictured was Streisand's. Before the suit, the picture had been downloaded apparently 6 times, 2 of which were by Barb's own lawyers. After it was over, 500,000 people had seen it.
Did that go the way you thought it was going to go? Nope.
In a similar way, a user on the video game marketplace Steam created a list of games that Sweet Baby was involved with because this company has been on gamers' radars for some time. It was a plug-in tool called Sweet Baby Inc. Detected, so you could avoid games with writing and visuals that might reflect a more modern sensibility that you might not give a crap about. Seeing that someone had disagreed with them on the internet, Sweet Baby took the most logical step imaginable. They tried to organize a campaign to ban this individual user from the platform entirely, engaging in a forum and Twitter fight to have that user reported by as many people as possible.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
In an unforeseeable twist, this drew a bunch of attention to the Steam page of Sweet Baby Detector, and its following grew from a few thousand to, at the time of me writing this, 285,000. It also caused a whole lot of attention to be drawn to Sweet Baby and the games they themselves advertise that they work on, and people began to see the kind of consulting that they do. It has also opened up a big can of worms with games journalists and is now spilling over to others in the industry who have made some real racist comments. I'm sorry, says here you can't be racist toward white people. Never mind, my bad. I'll get to all that fallout later, but this Sweet Baby Detector situation, this is the beginning of the current news cycle. So this whole story has snowballed, and a bunch of familiar names have popped back up, names that were prominently attached to something called Gamergate way back in 2014. Why is it being called Gamergate 2.0? Mostly because of the journalistic response to the whole Sweet Baby mess. One big example is this article published by Kotaku, a gaming publication that sometimes reports on industry news and other times feels like everyone from BuzzFeed and Vice migrated there. This one in particular is called Sweet Baby Doesn't Do What Some Gamers Think It Does. It's a simultaneous defense of the consulting firm and the growing trend of their type of solutions in the industry, and an attack on gamers as bad actors, backward nerds who can't get with the times. This has been an issue for some time between journalists and gamers. There's a big pattern in all of this of groups talking past each other about different issues. Journalists in general tend to lean left, and representation is big for folks on the left. So,
listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm all for introspective conversations about how to progress games forward. But I think we need to all agree that if journalists are a part of this conversation, the one who was fucking trying to test out Cuphead and couldn't get past the tutorial, that motherfucker should no longer be able to play a video game.
Games journalism has always had...
I know, very drastic, but if you watch that in real time, you like that's a war flashback.
Has this thread of talking about underrepresentation or overly sexualized female character models. Gamers, on the other hand, feel that gameplay and writing are taking a backseat to social politics and that they are unfairly being labeled as istophobes. They also feel that journalists collude with developers instead of serving the audience. So, what is this Gamergate? I'll try to hit the high points. Its beginnings are funny because they are no longer important. Aspiring game developer Zoe Quinn was making a game, and her ex-boyfriend wrote it.
That's a lot of no. This one was documented. It was like literally the biggest fucking thing to transpire out of the fucking smorgasbord that was the hellhole that was gaming discourse at that time. That was terrible. And the motherfucker docked points on the game for that because he couldn't get past the tutorial. I was devastated. That shit made me want to ban games.
She slept with a journalist to get favorable coverage of her game. Did she sleep with him? Did he give her preferential treatment? Who cares? Nobody. Because the whole situation became a proxy fight for other issues that gamers and journalists were already mad about and needed a reason to fight over. Did some guys take the accusation of Quinn at full face value and immediately make horrific sexist comments about her? Undoubtedly. We're online. We know what it's like online, right? Did other guys get mad because girls are rare in gaming, so they seem to get preferential treatment, like Twitch streamers? Yup, that happened as well. Like it or not, we need to be honest, guys. There are some women-hating neckbeards in the gaming community. They are real. And
thank you.
Sadly, we are attached to them, like how my
no, I'm not. Never mind. I'm taking my thank you back. I'm not attached to that shit. I just want to play games. I just want to play a game.
The party is attached to a guy who wears a freaking rain boot on his head.
Wish you weren't so fucking awkward, bud.
However, like Sweet Baby Deal, the journalism community came together to decry gamers as sexist, like the whole of us. The Zoe Quinn incident, to them, was but one example in a sea of reasons that gamers are knuckle-dragging troglodytes, and you can Google "gamers are dead" articles from that period to see what I mean. I just did, and here is a top result that opens by saying game culture is embarrassing, summarizing it as just buying things, spackling over memes and in-jokes repeatedly, and getting mad on the internet. No, don't sugarcoat it. Tell us how you really feel. It's always been clear that games journalists sort of hold their nose around their own audience, and it doesn't help that gamers are more defensive about this than other hobbies might be. Nerd culture is getting more mainstream, but there are still a lot of prejudice about video games being a hobby that is full of brain rot and a complete waste of time. It's always been odd to me that other hobbies don't get this immediate level of doubt. I mean, for all intent and purpose, sports is equally as frivolous as video games. They both serve social functions, people collect memorabilia, they spend lots of time engaging in it, and even time thinking about it when they're not directly engaging in it. They are extremely similar. Most hobbies are, honestly, but some are socially acceptable, and some are still fighting for respect. So, gamers are still sensitive to accusations that they are merely a group of horny teenage boys objectifying women, hopped up on G Fuel, and not socially conscious enough to care about social justice issues like their betters. Even now, as this story is being picked up by a wider range of news outlets, my bearded doppelganger Matt Walsh still can't talk about the story without a snide dismissal of games in general. During the Gamergate time, gamers felt that journalists and industry leaders were colluding to paint them in a bad light, the same as they feel right now with this Sweet Baby controversy. In a similar vein, it's been a common complaint that journalists and studios collude in other ways. Like every industry, there are complaints about who gets access to early copies of the game, and there are always suspicions that professional reviewers will go easy on studios so as not to get blacklisted from reviews or PR seats. The Zoe Quinn deal was a sign for some that the reporting of games is tainted and developers are in bed with reporters, sometimes literally. After the Quinn accusations, internet sleuths found many conflicts of interest between journalists and developers, like a Google group called Game Journo Pros, and there were leaked emails that show attempted collusion in reporting.
That is one big pile of shit.
In the other corner, you had social progressives who viewed it as an example of gaming's glaring sexism. A notable name that pops up over and over in this fight is Anita Sarkeesian. She is also a consultant.
Oh no. Oh, I know Anita. People have committed murder over soccer. Yeah, we are a society full of choices, and those choices are a fucking headache.
And think leader in the diversifying game space. Fortunately for her, a couple years before the Gamergate drama popped off, she had already founded Feminist Frequency, a company to consult on inclusiveness and also produce a video series about the problematic sexism in gaming. Just last month, they ended operations, but the videos are still up. They're well produced, though I do disagree with the general argument being presented. Sarkeesian and others saw the comments being made about Zoe Quinn and the threats directed at her and felt it was one more piece of evidence that gaming in general is a sexist practice that needs fixing. Her videos about women in gaming attempt to show a pattern of women being less than men or male ideals being prioritized in games. However, a distinction needs to be made with figures like Sarkeesian, because she really has two messages, and one is really stupid and so overshadows the other, that being this idea that gaming is inherently sexist and gamers are sexist because they play sexist games and yada yada, typical identity politics, guilty by association sophism. But her other message is about working in the industry as a woman, and this is much more important and carries a lot more weight. It's a fact that the industry has been dominated by men, and that can be intimidating for women to jump into, especially when there are some guys who will always assume every female gamer is a fake gamer girl looking for clout. There's also more than simply an intimidating atmosphere. A few years ago, it was revealed in a lawsuit that Activision Blizzard higher-ups regularly engaged in sexual harassment of female employees, and even had a Cosby Suite hotel room where they would throw parties and have informal meetings. There's literally a picture of top employees smiling around a picture of the rapist Bill Cosby. You can't make it up. Ubisoft faced a similar lawsuit claiming sexual harassment was rampant at their company, and that HR and executive departments colluded to try to cover it up. Sadly, like so many suddenly rich, nerdy industries, and Facebook is a good example, frat boy culture can sometimes come with it. There have been some extremely serious and valid criticisms leveled against game developers. Also, crunch culture at game studios favors young single guys who can and will work 80 hours a week to see a game get out the door. In addition to the sexual harassment, the games industry has some bad work practices. The number one issue with the industry is money. All of this, including the DEI initiatives, is driven by money, and it's now turning into predatory monetization practices for the consumer. I'll be covering that in a future video. What bothers me personally is how these complaints get aimed at gamers. Much like the anti-racist movement, Sarkeesian and others see passivity as consent and blame the audience. Everybody loves to use that silence helped the oppressor line, and I don't hate any quote more than that one. It is so self-righteously comfortable to use that and act like your horrific behavior is justified because you're fighting some kind of oppressor somewhere. It's moral relativism at its finest. Trying to be balanced is really hard with this one because I can't get my mind around this worldview like Sarkeesian's, where you see an entertainment product and you initially ask questions like, is the person killing the zombies a white man or an indigenous disabled woman of color?
It's an important question to ask, you know, because when I'm out killing, I want to make sure that, you know, the proper... I can't keep a straight face!
I don't care! How's the edge detection? Am I going to clip out a level while running from the zombies? Is the weapon handling clunky?
Wait, see, he's having the opinion I have. I don't give a fuck about an introspective conversation about why motherfuckers are mad that I get to kill Nazis in a fucking video game. Move the fuck out of the way so I can kill me some Nazis in this fucking video game immediately.
How's the inventory management? So gamers were mad at industry practices and journalism ethics, and journalists and consultants were mad at industry practices and attitudes among the audience. And the Zoe Quinn accusation was the focal point for both sides to get mad about. That's Gamergate in as fair a way as I can present it. But games journalists do suck. All references to Gamergate in the media today summarize the entire event as a harassment campaign by gamers against feminists. I wonder why people are so angry about this. That was in 2014, and as we cruise back to the present day with Sweet Baby, let's take two quick stops to demonstrate why gamers are making Sweet Baby such a huge deal, because this kind of thing has been going on for so long. The first is this hilarious video released by professional game journalists.
It's the fucking video. It's the 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 video. This is probably somebody's most legitimate reason to hate gaming journalists. Because if there are several individuals like that exist, no fucking wonder all these people like go back and forth in hating games journalists. Like, no fucking wonder.
Journalist and reviewer Dean Takahashi. He released his own footage of the difficulty he had in getting past the tutorial of the game Cuphead. Now, props to him for poking fun at himself, but it doesn't change the issue here that a guy who is reviewing games for consumers can't play them successfully. For a lot of gamers, this kind of behavior reinforces the idea that journalists aren't genuinely fans of gaming. They merely have journalism degrees and got a job at a game site.
But you are not. Serious people.
Another big hot point was the final days of the revived G4 TV. G4 was a video game channel on cable from 2002 to 2014, but was canceled because it was pretty niche, and since a lot of gamers are online so much, they also get their news and reviews online. But in 2021, they tried to give it another go, launching on cable and also taking advantage of streaming and social media sites. Like, capture the nostalgia, bring back old hosts. It was pretty exciting. But again, it just wasn't popular enough to justify financially, and the channel was heading downhill. Now, a large catalyst for the
I got a charging file, bro. Like, what is this game? What am I doing with my life?
abrupt end was this now infamous rant by host Indiana Black, who used the gaming handle Froskurin, who is widely known simply as Frosk. Formerly a League of Legends coach and commentator, she joined the channel for the relaunch, and she went on an impromptu rant about gamers being sexist and sexism in gaming.
But I actually want to talk about something so much more important than Red Dead Online. Sexism in gaming.
Buddy. Sexism in gaming. An issue. Let's be concise and fair here. But what's more of an issue was the status at the time of Red Dead Online. Let's be real here. That was a bigger issue at the time. That was indeed a bigger issue at the time.
Women do not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. Morgan Webb, Olivia Munn did not exist to be nice on the eyes for you. And that's just obvious sexism. You don't need to explicitly objectify women or declare that you hate women to be sexist. You're letting your unconscious biases ruin my day, and you're gatekeeping the gaming space.
Likes are...
Bitch, you don't know how to turn off your fucking phone. You don't know how to get off Twitter. Because, you know, when I get tired of seeing opinions, I just turn on a movie. You know, like the Sonic movie is now on Paramount, so it's like you could just like go relax with that. You know, you could do that.
Sarkeesian's attitude. Dude, for gamers like myself, it was insulting to be grouped in with internet trolls and be told my whole hobby is sexist, and I'm a sexist for engaging in it.
If you don't like it, don't watch it. Peace.
Other gamers agreed, and G4...
I mean, fuck. If I don't like it, I ain't gotta watch it, and I just, you know, as the kids say, chuck the deuces up and just go on about my dizzy.
And losing subscribers by the thousands the very next day. Shortly thereafter, the entire channel was canceled, and another host, Adam Sessler, engaged in Twitter fights, doing your mom burns, and again, calling gamers various names because they were upset that Frost had labeled them as sexist. In interviews and Twitter feeds, Adam has consistently shown that he is another one who holds his nose to mingle among the unwashed gaming masses. My personal belief is that there's a lot of anger in the game journalism community, and a large...
I mean, I would definitely participate in your mother jokes just because I'm petty. But I don't work at a TV station. I don't that's my benefit to society, at least.
Part of it is that their industry is dying to be taken over by YouTubers and Twitch streamers. The audience doesn't need
like me. You should all subscribe and like the stream.
to wait for Nintendo Power Magazine to show up with tips and tricks and cheat codes, and they want more commentary. I can understand that if you have a journalism degree and you're getting absolutely trounced in audience numbers by a random guy who yells at the screen, you'd be bitter about it. So we're back in the present, and the Sweet Baby Detective debacle has caused internet users to put on their Death Frisbee ear hats and dig into Sweet Baby's past and everyone who is connected. And it's more of the same, sadly. There are a lot of connections being made to the Sweet Baby funding companies, Baby Ghosts and Weird Ghosts. Also connections back to that Zoe Quinn person, again, because the founder of Baby Ghost is the sister of Alec Holoka, who ended his life after accusations of assault were posted online by Quinn. It looks like this all revolves around a little group of the same people. Now, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, check out those names. But for now, I'm going to stick with 3 big stories that have come up recently about comments made by those involved. First up, we've got Sweet Baby co-founder Kim Belair giving a talk at a game developer conference. GDC is like TED Talks for game devs. They're really cool. It's 30 minutes, and I'll link it below. The video has been catching a lot of heat because of how Belair describes gamers as picky babies who need to be force-fed something better for them, and also because of how she describes threatening marketing departments like a mob crew. But I'll get to those in a moment. What I think is most important about this video is that it demonstrates the doublethink that is happening right now when people talk about diversity and inclusion. Belair introduces herself and tells a story of how she was hired to consult about a dating game and gave some advice for how they could expand the narrative that they wanted. Eventually, they thanked her and they cut a section because they realized it was too risky. She lamented that diversity consultants are, in reality, risk management consultants because everybody is scared to offend the wrong people. Now, it's ironic that she doesn't see herself as the reason people are scared, but anyway. She then described her experience playing Mass Effect in 2010 and how she was able to create a character that looked like her. And she was so excited when, early on in the game, there was this organic moment where two black characters were on screen, the only ones on screen, and nothing stereotypical was happening. Nobody was a drug dealer or a gang member. The scene wasn't about two black people doing black things in a black way, black. It was just natural. And she was excited by the naturalness of it. Her point with these two stories is that diversity needs to be more than a box to check so you aren't the target of bad PR. It should simply be natural. And
the hell is going on in the weird gaming space? You want like a gross summarization that isn't backed up by anything but just like a four-eyed man's perspective? Fuck, man. Everything's just not fun anymore. I'm not seeing what I want to see in my gaming. That's why I play these old games. So that I can feel again.
For the first 10 minutes of this talk, I was fully on board with her. This is exactly what we need. If she had left it there, saying something like, diverse stories can be good, and we should introduce more of them because I bet the audience will love them, it would have been fine. Sadly, she then went into contradicting herself and insulting the audience. She said that gamers need to be told different stories because they are like picky babies who will only eat the same thing over and over.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to hear how she says it. She ain't wrong. And I'm gonna tell you which specific type of gamers I mean when I say she ain't wrong. The ones who only play for like the barest minimum of a fucking example, a game with a ball in it or a game with a gun in it. Hear me out. Like, hear me out. Hear me out. I play these games. I play games with guns and balls in them. But I've expanded my portfolio to RPGs. That way I can have more fun. Because the sick part about all these motherfuckers who complain, not all of them, specifically the one I'm talking about. This, and this, and this. Well, not this version, like the newest version. These three is all they play. These motherfuckers don't get their feet wet in nothing else. Some of them don't even get their feet wet in a game that has guns in it. Do you know how many people I've tried to put on Helldivers and they refuse? But they swear and live and die by Call of Duty? Do you know how many people I've tried to put on Monster Hunter Wilds and these motherfuckers say, bro, I'm playing COD? There's a Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3+4 coming out. And these motherfuckers will still be like, bro, I gotta give me my hours on 2K. Ah! I hate it. All right, that's my way of going about it. Let's see how she fucks it up.
Start treating our core demographics as a fixed and static value, something that does not want to change, something that is locked in place. So despite like the changing face of audiences, despite the changing face of conferences like this one, we still look at our core demographics and say, okay, they're white, cis, hetero males, and we cater almost exclusively to them. And the problem is that we don't just cater to them like, you know, here's something that we think you'll enjoy. We cater to them the way that we cater to like a picky baby. We feed them the same thing that we know that they love.
Show some Xenoblade kind of. Let's show the motherfucker Dragon Quest 9. It was like, man, what the fuck is this? I was devastated. I didn't think I could look that motherfucker in the face ever again. You can't. It's just sickening to the soul.
We keep on feeding it. Like, here you go. You love it. Eat this, eat this, eat this. So that then when they get anything else, they react as a picky baby would, which would be like, oh, no, thank you. I do not want this. And
but look, I'm about to throw the caveat in it. When you got motherfuckers who, this person was not affiliated with the people who made that damn game, just a fucking fan of the fucking game that co-opted these fucking ideas from other people. When you got motherfuckers who will fucking sit there and say, if this game flops, it's because y'all don't like black women. We got an interesting fucking problem that's not gonna go away. shit not gonna go away because y'all do such a horrendous job getting people in on these newer games. The South of Midnight looks fucking fantastic, and I'm gonna play that shit. But man, I hate how that's probably gonna be the conversation from people. Like, this shit flop. Yeah, y'all let a game with a black woman as lead protagonist flop. It's like, really, bro? Can it just be that maybe to them the game is ass? Now, granted, there are some people who are not even gonna buy it, saying it's ass for reasons that make me just not want to listen to them speak. It's a mighty fine have and have not, and motherfuckers gonna have not it to hell. But fuck, man, I'm excited for the game to come out.
We've actually done this so long that what we're doing is creating an entire nation of picky babies, and they make us scared to.
They said the same about Forspoken. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm so glad I didn't buy Forspoken. Like, there was a part of me that wanted to buy that shit, and I just kept looking at the game, like, as they kept dropping like clips of it. I'm like, man, I'm not buying this. I ain't not buying because of any other fucking reason. I looked at the fucking gameplay they was releasing. I'm like, man, cheeks.
To deviate from what we actually want to do.
She also references how the industry and the audience are a bunch of white guys who think everything is about them, and her tone is very bitter. Then she advises developers to go to their marketing departments and scare them with what will happen if they don't include diversity.
If you're a creative working in AAA, which I did for many, many years, put this stuff up to your higher-ups. And if they don't see the value in what you're asking for when you ask for consultants, when you ask for research, go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them with the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
All right. Now I'm starting to see why y'all don't like these people. If you may allow me to attempt devil's advocacy, currently there's a movement of the power to the people and their power of their money with 40 days of Lent of not spending money at Target. And based on metrics, Target's feeling heat financially. So motherfuckers are going to be like, yes, this works, up until it's time to start shopping at Target again. But publicly getting in front of a bunch of people and be like, hey, if we can't get it one way, we're gonna get it another way. That creates a really bad look, especially when the shit still fails. Because when shit like seemingly good, it's like, all right, this worked, we could do it again. But then when y'all do it again and the shit still flop, it's like, whose fault is this?
Because they have to consider, like, I say that out loud as a joke, but it's actually very, very true, because if you start to consider the people who are player and audience facing and who have to deal with mitigating harm and with keeping the sentiment around their game and their project positive, there's like...
I mean, fuck, can somebody start threatening the people who made Overwatch to make a better game? Like, can y'all start threatening the motherfuckers at Apex to give it up? Like, if y'all think this idea work, I got some game companies y'all can find. Do not threaten marketing teams or game developers, for the love of God. I don't need motherfuckers not understanding that I'm fucking joking when I say this shit, please.
Like a genuine value that you can press upon them with both ethically and financially. You can say this is important.
Finally, she says the games shouldn't only let players create their own diversity moments, but studios need to tell more diverse stories targeted to minorities.
Firstly, I would say do not...
I'm not gonna fucking lie to you. This kid that got killed at this hazing event, y'all motherfuckers are going to fucking be the death of me. This is not the first kid to fucking die because of hazing. In Louisiana, a kid died from this shit, and they passed a fucking law to make that shit a fucking crime statewide. And if a motherfucker dies, it is significantly worse for motherfuckers involved. Like, I know y'all fighting to get the Department of Education removed, but I beg them to not get rid of that shit, because we are going to be DOO doomed as a society.
Not be afraid to create moments that are intentionally targeted and designed to create joy in the marginalized.
The big issue here is that she wants it both ways. And this is a common theme I see among proponents of diversity and inclusion. Sometimes they say, hey, we don't want special treatment, we don't want tokenism, we simply want to be a normal inclusion in the product without being tacked on so you can use us. And I love that message. Hell yes, we need more of that. But when it's convenient, she also wants special treatment with stories directed specifically to minorities and wants to pull the I'm helpless, it's all white guys around here victim card. I see this often. We want to be included in a normal way, but we also want to be treated special when it's convenient and victim status can be leveraged. Often you'll see clips of a person saying these different views in different contexts, but this video shows the same person in the same setting saying they want both. Her suggestion of diverse stories is not wrong. It's her contempt-ridden hubris that the audience better like them or else. That works against the eventual equality she claims she wants. For example,
yes, it does.
Right now, Disney has a couple of African animation shows, and I'm making a video about it. And a little spoiler is that the most recent one, Iwaju, kind of sucks. I wanted to like it so much, and I realized a couple episodes in that I was giving it way more leeway than I would any other show, because I don't want to be an accidental racist, and I really want my daughter to like it. But part of this equality everyone is striving for needs to be the ability to look at a diverse product, weigh it fairly, and still say it's not good if it's not good. Andre, what do we need to be able to say? Let me use myself as an example here, because I do understand a little bit of where Belair is coming from. Her comments about giving the audience different stories, while couched as offensively as she could make it, is not 100% incorrect. There are stories out there that you might enjoy, and you don't even know it yet. I'm sure it's happened to you where a friend pressures you to watch a show, but it doesn't look like your kind of thing, but you end up devouring it. Digging under the bitterness of Belair, she is correct. The game narratives can benefit from expanding their scope. They have to innovate, or they might die. It's the same with me making these videos. I can't make the same video again and again long term, because you don't want that, even if you don't know it.
You want something new. You want something innocent.
Consciously. Now, right now, when I make a video crapping on Disney or the MCU or the concept of wokeness, they do well. They're guaranteed winners because people like talking about those subjects. But they won't forever. Eventually, the MCU will either get back on track and it will sound desperate to go nitpicking for parts to hate, or it
That trend is already starting, but it's not starting in the MCU.
will continue its downward slide and it won't even be fun to make fun of it. Eventually,
It's not gaining full traction yet, but it's starting.
you will get bored of that topic.
And when that becomes mainstream, a lot of motherfuckers are gonna get viewed as nitpickers. And it's gonna be fun to see. Did I just throw the fucking ball in the air? God damn it. Like, what is...
And if it's the only subject I talk about, then by extension, you'll be bored of me. And I need you. So I have to experiment with different techniques and subjects to keep it fresh and discover what other topics you're interested in so we can maintain our relationship in which I provide you entertainment and a little education and you provide me with watch time so I can add money. When creating entertainment products, you have...
This is probably the first YouTuber I've ever seen say that shit outright, mean it, and it's true. Like, you have to. You have to come with new engaging stories, or at least different ways to captivate your audience who fucking loves hearing you, but eventually they'll get tired of hearing about the same shit and they'll want to fucking hear about a new person being a fucking moron of the year, which is why I was petrified at that time period where, like, my channel was nothing but smuggle nuts, because I'm like, eventually this motherfucker is either gonna go to jail or die or not be the topic of conversation anymore. What the fuck am I gonna do?
To keep in mind that it is entirely about the consumer. I have to both meet your current needs and try to anticipate your future needs that even you might not know you have. So in that regard, Belair is correct. The games industry needs to try new angles because the customer might love them and they don't even know it yet. However, the mistake she's making is thinking that she knows better than the consumer, and they are wrong for not loving her particular angle. Last year, I made this video about Little Mermaid filled with 50 puns, and it did well. So I tried it again. Did another one longer with even more puns and idioms, over 200. And people hated it.
When you try to oversaturate something just because it was popular at the time, you run that risk, Bookie.
When a video fails, I can either publicly get there and blame the audience, or use the data given to me to shape the next video.
No, I'm gonna blame the audience. What do you mean you're not interested in? What do you mean you're not interested in me learning about Sweet Baby Inc? You don't know what you want. I tell you what. And that is how it all dies. That is all it all dies. When you're not willing. Now, I understand motherfuckers want to be creative and fucking make videos based on their own passions, or go based off of what they saw in one video and try it again in another video. But it's always nice to just, find some things that an audience could be interested in fucking speaking or learning about. For example, right now, seems like my video on Caleb Wilson getting killed at a fraternity recruitment process It's interesting to some people. And you know, it's gaining a little bit of traction, and that's good. But then there'll be videos that aren't. So it's like, all right, gotta engage the audience while still also fucking still being yourself in this shit, man. Because who the fuck? Because I shouldn't say who the fuck, because there are some people who have. I'm not interested in just like selling out and saying shit I don't believe for a quick little YouTube view. I'd argue that's pretty what's the word? Gay.
One is productive, and the other gets you flamed on Twitter when people dig up your interviews years later.
I want more videos of you slamming your old chair. So look, I'll be honest with you. That fucking chair, I sat in it like earlier this morning because I was playing my GameCube. I almost fell out of that chair because the back is completely broken. The back of that chair is fucking broken. And I leaned back into that fucking chair. I almost broke my fucking neck. So that chair's probably got like 7 more. And then that shit will be completely unseatable. In which case, I'll need a new thing to throw.
By the way, I will absolutely be making another fun video, but changing a few aspects like length, subject matter, and delivery to gather more data so I can hone in on what makes the best videos for you. I don't get to choose what you like, and I don't get to make assumptions about you because you don't care about the same subjects that I do.
Not true. I get to make assumptions about all of you based on what you do and what you don't do. I get to make all the assumptions, you lovable human beings. Yes, I blew the chairs back out with my elongated BBC. My new favorite thing to say is a tear went down my leg. I'm gonna let you think about that as I demonstrate being the greatest Punisher main of all time.
Like, for example, in the month of May, I'm going to make videos about foster care, trying to convince you to get involved or donate or simply get educated about it, because that's what I'm passionate about. Should you choose to skip every one of them, I'm not going to assume you hate orphans or something.
You hate children! You support children being abandoned because you didn't watch a YouTube. You see how stupid I sound? You see how stupid I sound?
That's crap, but that's exactly what Belair and Sarkeesian are doing by assuming the audience is wrong because they don't care what she cares about. The reason journalists and consultants bother me is because I'm the consumer for video games, and they blame me for not liking their ideas. The customer is always right in matters of taste. That's the full quote. It's my money and my leisure time that I'm spending on games, and I will not be told I'm incorrect for what I like or dislike, or for what I choose to not care about. Belair and others assume that identity is both important and not important. White men should suck it up and play as characters that don't look like them, but non-white men are unable to enjoy a game fully if they're not represented. Something I think they aren't considering is that a lot of games feature a nondescript white dude because they are not remarkable. A quality game draws you in, and you don't say, oh, the character died. You say, I died. I beat the boss. A blank canvas character.
I ain't gonna fucking lie to y'all. He's got such a valid point, and I'm about to prove it to y'all right now. Hold on. I got exactly the thing to prove his fucking point. And we'll sit and we'll just watch the whole fucking thing, and I don't give an objective damn. Do you understand me?
What can I say to you? I remember how it felt to take that throne. All that it meant. And all that it did not. A god of war. God of pain. Of suffering. Of destruction. And Owen said I chase redemption that I know I can never deserve. What does that make me? God of fools. A god of... hope. And all else is lost. You lost everything. And everyone. You became no forgiving you. You chose. Should I, this same man, should I sit, take, proclaim, lead, place myself in service? There's to be enough inside so that I do not become you. I do not know. But I have hope. You are cruel and arrogant and selfish. Always been more than what others saw. You are more than that.
Like, my nut just busted again. Like, come on now. With like the straightest fucking face imaginable. How the fuck am I not supposed to relate to this? It is amazing. Especially since I know the entire gimmick of Kratos' story from first God of War to now. It's fucking amazing. You hear me? Greatest piece of story. One of the greatest protagonists in gaming history. Kratos. Ooh, it's amazing. How was I not supposed to relate to that? How was I not supposed to, in that moment, see that and just be like, ooh, yes, I'm Kratos. Ooh, amazing being Kratos. Ooh, 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 the bingos. Ooh, it's so amazing. Ooh, great storytelling. Ooh, and to answer the question that was asked, this is Ragnarok, not the 2018 one. This is the DLC. That was a bitch and a half to fucking get through. Ooh, the bingos. Ooh, ooh, just do it. Ooh, Obi-Wan, just fucking take my asshole and fucking stretch it wide, Obi-Wan. Just want y'all to know I'm 20-1, just for clarity. All right, what are we doing? Oh, sweet baby ain't.
Like Nathan Drake makes that easier. It's not about his story. It becomes your story as you play him. That's the magic of video games. Recently, a clip surfaced of former Sweet Baby narrative designer Dani Lalonde discussing her work on an indie game, Validate. She was being interviewed as part of the game dev.
Oh, I know that game. That game is terrible. Ugh, that Validate game is terrible.
Color Expo.
Who is your team? Validate has a team of mostly all people of color. We have no white people.
This was terrible. Yeah.
I did that because I wanted to create this safe environment, and I know the best way for.
Oh, I did a video about this. This is terrible. What a terrible thing to say out loud. And the only reason it's terrible is because if it was said in reverse, motherfuckers would be up in arms, and you know it. You could sit there and be like, no, we wouldn't, but we all know you would. Ooh.
Environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me. And I'm not saying that white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. That is not.
Shit, I am. You see all these fucking lawsuits about harassment that be going on? The hell? The hell? Show me that entire fucking Blizzard staff, and we gonna have a conversation that need to be had.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that sometimes it is hard to work with white people because they think that something may be okay, but it was really a microaggression, and no one wants to deal with that while you're trying to make a game that they love.
Fuck, son, I'd rather deal with 50 microaggressors than fucking harassment at the workplace. But you know, sometimes we can have things, and sometimes we can't.
Wow. And she's now working for Cliffhanger Games, owned by EA, working as a narrative designer on a Black Panther game for them. In that same interview, she also talked about her experience in the industry.
I am clearly not a white person. I'm clearly not a white man. I'm a black non-binary woman. So it was pretty difficult for me because a lot of people did not take
See, why are we lumping in non-binary as if that's a race? Like, the bingos.
seriously when I first joined the industry, which I think is kind of crazy because I'm making a game just like everyone else, so why wouldn't you take me seriously? Like, is it because I'm black? I mean, it probably is, but like...
This is that same victim mentality that I'm talking about. On its face, it's insane that she would flat out admit she doesn't hire anyone from a certain race because they don't make her feel safe. But it's also funny that diversity is being touted as this silver bullet to storytelling and makes every product better simply because people who look different worked on it. And yet, here is Lalonde saying that she works best when surrounded by people who are just like her. The hypocrisy is stunning. Her other comments are hilarious as well because they display the hypocritical side of claiming oppression. She said people don't take her seriously. Is it because she's black? Probably. So what that means is that she created angry, mean versions of other people, made negative assumptions for them about them, and called herself the victim of oppression. The judgmental one in this scenario is Lalonde's. I saw such an amazing explanation of this in an Instagram reel of all places. A guy was saying he doesn't worry about how other people judge him anymore because they probably don't. He said he realized he was making up ideas about other people, assuming...
All right, boys, I just want y'all to know, if I don't get play of the game, I'm gonna fucking scream. I'm gonna scream anyway! The greatest Punisher made of all time is me! It's me! It's me! I went 24-1! What the fuck are you people talking about? I went on a 20 kill streak simply because I am the best. I am the best Punisher man. Nobody, I don't give a fuck about no popular streamer that fucking say that shit for fun. Me alone on this fucking mountaintop am the greatest Punisher main to ever fucking exist. My fucking juice fell off my desk. Ooh, I got a highlight. Ooh, I think I got a highlight. Ooh, what's my highlight? Ooh, is it when I killed the thing? Ooh, is it when I sat here and fucking cleaned house? Ooh, look how I get the thing too. Ooh, and look how I get them too. Ooh, and look at that guy. I can't get him from my fucking turret. Ooh, what do? I just fucking clap his ass. Ooh. As a black artist, I know for a fact Sweet Baby Ink would hate how I design black women. Oh Lord. How do you see? Motherfuckers be doing anything.
The worst about them, creating an imaginary them who then had mean judgments about himself. That's what Lalonde is doing here, living in this made-up reality where she assumes the worst about everyone around her and then tells herself that she's the victim of these non-existent crimes.
Bitch, it's called self-esteem. It's a thing of your motherfucking self, bitch. How the fuck can I fuck up how you feel about you, simple bitch?
Hey, maybe nobody took you seriously because you're young. That's quite common. Maybe it's because you describe yourself as a MILF in training, or that you're not.
What annoys me about this specifically is that how in the fuck, as like a grown adult, are you going to complain about not being taken seriously? And you were a developer for something called Validate. Like, I knew you thought I was going to talk about the non-binary MILF in training thing, but no. I feel like working for Validate is way worse. But on a serious note, you got 1 year in the industry, you made a game, and you fucking, for some, that's a bullet point. That is a bullet point. Why? Like, yes, that is who you are. I'm not about to sit here and be like, you can't be that. I'm saying, why is that a fucking bullet point? Your name, that's important. What you worked on, that's important. Your experience, that's important. And like saying like who you are, or I guess like the experience could go in like a separate section of like, what's my experience? Like, how the fuck am I supposed to fucking be someone who's supposed to look at you as a considerable person to bring onto my team and in your qualifications, you got MILF in training. Like, if you're not going to take yourself seriously enough to make something that is actually important, because I'm going to make the drastic assumption that you actually care about making games. Why are you not taking yourself seriously in the hiring process? Like, if I see this shit, I'm going to think it's a joke, and I'm going to look at the person who made it as a joke. Don't give a fuck if you Asian, white, black, don't fucking matter. Like, this is not, like, look, this is her shit, and I don't take her seriously. And that ain't my fault. That's her fault. Because she crazy. She crazy and stupid.
Non-binary. That's a label that many people don't take seriously at all. Maybe you just do poor work.
I don't give a fuck about the non-binary part. Like, MILF in training, like, what that mean? Like, you're a mother that I would like to fuck, but you in training? What, you ain't popped the baby out yet? You, like, learning how to make your body seductive enough so that your neighbor's kids could look at you and be like, hey, Miss Parker. Like, excuse me? But, like, wait a minute. A mom I would like to fuck, that mean, like, you trying to get the gaze of other people. Not gay as in gay people, but like gaze as in the eyes. You trying to get eyes on you, this is fine. I don't really give a fuck. But you trying to sit here and act like, bitch, you confuse me.
There is a cornucopia of reasons for people to not take us seriously, but naturally she assumes the worst one because it's the easiest. I listened to the whole 22 minutes, which I will link below. Her whole worldview is nothing but a whiny victim narrative. She doesn't talk about anything except the imaginary ceilings that exist.
You know what I mean? Like, it kind of sucks that, like, it kind of sucks that people saw me and they're just like, whatever, we're not gonna take her seriously. But if a white man made Validate, it would be fucking everywhere. That game would be...
Put a white man in that same scenario, don't change nothing about that game. That's gonna be viewed as one of the worst fucking games, the worst fucking dating sims ever. Like, don't change nothing about that game except the people who made it. Leave everything the same. I'd argue that shit'd be worse.
Everywhere.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to? If white guys... have you never seen the mountain of indie games made by white guys in Steam that go nowhere? Does she think we look...
Yeah, that's true. If we open Steam right now, there's a smorgasbord of games nobody's touching that get made by white dudes. I'm sorry, but every game is in Doki Doki Literature Club for reasons that are substantial, because there'll never be another game like Doki Doki Literature Club. Fuck, there's a whole graveyard of PlayStation games. They're not PlayStation exclusive, mind you. They're just games I've never heard of. Like, I downloaded one recently. Let's see, where is it? That's not it. That's Uncharted 4. Where's that fucking game I just downloaded? Bro, there's a game called fucking Spectre Flashpoint. I've never heard of this shit. But it was free! I'm gonna download it right now. I might actually play this shit. Just so that I could see. Just so that I could see.
Look at the individuals who...
And if it's trash, well, fuck, I didn't spend no money. I could just delete this shit steadfast.
Make a game before buying? Guys, a couple years ago, I saw ads for this Kickstarter about a company making a game that looked and felt like 1995's Chrono Trigger. It was called Sea of Stars. Here is footage of me seeing the Kickstarter.
Damn, what is that, bro?
I don't know what anyone at Sabotage Studios looks like. I know what this game looks like, and my inner child commanded me to back.
See, what he's saying is how I feel about South of Midnight. I don't fucking know who made South of Midnight. I don't give a fuck. The game would look interesting as fuck. Now, this game also got that vibe to it. But it could also be shit, just like South of Midnight. And it would be at the fault of the people who made it, but it ain't because of their fucking skin color or what they believe politically.
That game. In fact, all my favorite JRPGs from my childhood were made by Japanese.
I had to listen to a fucking dude not 3 days ago talk about how Halo would be good if they had a Christian storyline. Keep that motherfucker away from the development room.
These guys. So, Lalanders is a prime example of what I think white male privilege actually is. It's the total lack of we white guys whispering in each other's ear that there's some them out to get us. The real boon that I have as a white guy is that I have to look at myself for my failures. Didn't get a promotion? I don't have a systemic them to blame. I have to.
Shit, you may not, but the motherfuckers who was crying a couple weeks ago when Trump was and Elon was talking about H-1Bs did.
Ask what I can do different next time, and that is ultimately to my benefit. This is why I'm hard on the manosphere and the red pill guys, because they're trying to cultivate this attitude in young men, and it is a mental cancer. There's also
No, that's base, buddy. What are you talking about? You can't get a fucking relationship? It's because you're a man and you have to fucking wake up and die and not have fucking emotions. Oh, come on, buddy.
There's this weird rebellious attitude that you see often here that's like, I'm persevering despite the haters. Ha! How do you like seeing a black they making games? Are you...
See, I adopted. I ain't gonna lie. I adopted this mind. You ask anyone who knows me, they know that I adopted that mindset. And I've only recently just like given that up. Not fully, because, you know, still traumatized. But fuck, man, I just want to fucking thrive. I want to fucking thrive. I want to be successful in content creation and in streaming. I want to be engaging so that you fuckers can, you know, be excited to see me stream and see me like on occasion talk about some shit, and then in the middle of me talking about it, you hear me gleefully fucking point out that I am the greatest Punisher main of all the times, because who doing it like I do's? Nobody doing it like I do's. Even though, where's my team? Where the fuck is my team? If you're the same person you were 10 years ago, you are just still a shitty human being. I say that as someone who remained similarly the same person, but then I've slowly adapted. And I got a pat on the back for that. Why? You know what? I don't see any of my team members. You know what that means. You know what that means. You left the last match early? You want to really see me leave a match early? Where's Valorant? I'll fucking turn on Valorant right now and show you fuckers what it really is like. Oh, I deleted Valorant because it infuriated my fucking core values as a Christian mingle individual.
Triggered? It feels strangely accusatory and it's misplaced. Nobody was holding you back. We don't care. You're raging against a machine that does not exist. Whoop, quick break for dad mode. You can absolutely go make or do the thing, but it will take a massive amount of work, because right now, you probably aren't good enough. But if you get started, you will learn exactly how you aren't good enough, and you can... Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 times yes. What he just said in regards to like these people is like how I feel about all these motherfuckers who complain about everything being woke, and yet none of them want to make a game. Instead, they want to make a game award show thinking that that's going to be the thing that changes the world. And then you got motherfuckers who like kickstarted a game years ago and have given you no significant updates about a thing. More to improve. Until you start filming or writing or coding or painting, it will all exist only in your head, the good and the bad parts. You will overestimate both the obstacles and your own talent. But there has never been a point in history where you have more tools at your disposal than you do right now. Video editing tools, game engine and code tools, cheap equipment, video guides and advice, AI generators to fill in the gaps for you, self-publishing tools, self-marketing tools. It has never, ever been more accessible than it is right now. Your number one obstacle, honestly, is excuses you keep making. There's a quote that I find inspirational, maybe you will too. It's this, attributed to Earl Nightingale. Never give up on your dreams just because of the time it will take to accomplish. The time will pass anyway. Okay, dad mode over. After the Bel Air and the Launders videos resurfaced, the detectives went to journalists' Twitter accounts. Now, this one didn't take a lot of detecting. Alyssa Mercante posted on March 6th of this year, "Hi, you can't be racist against white people. Thanks for tuning in." Alyssa is a senior editor for that bastion of journalistic integrity, Kotaku. She's the author of that article about how Sweet Baby doesn't do what we think, even though their website proudly proclaims that they do, and their founder says that they do. This article is an objective lie. The reason I bring this up is that it illustrates what many gamers are frustrated about. The journalists in their industry actively hate them. Now, I've linked this ideology to Marxism before, and it still holds. I am a member of the beaten down proletariat, so I can never be wrong. I'm oppressed by the bourgeoisie. They are morally wrong. I am morally right. It is
and I am morally hungry.
Acceptable for them to look at characters that look like them, but it's acceptable for me to exclusively have a work group that looks like me. Everything they do is racist. We can never be racist. They are evil incarnate. So by the laws of moral relativism, we can never really be that bad.
Our shenanigans are cheeky and fun. Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel.
I don't think it's legal for men to do something like that. What? What did I miss? What is illegal that a man can't do that a woman can do? A piece of mice, a piece of string.
As before, there are two issues here. On one hand, you got a group of people who think gaming has an archaic view of the world. The games industry and its consumer base is sexist.
Gaming causes school shootings. Says everybody who hops on the news to ignore the real issues because they need like a quick band-aid on a literal gunshot wound of a dead child.
It's racist, transphobic, all the usual terms.
I saw people get mad at a woman because she made her own women's only gym, and they were asking, what about a men's only gym? Go make them. It is legal for men to do that. Also, how convenient you bring that up, considering what's been going on for the past number of hours. But that's for another time.
My issue with this is that instead of making quality games with different storylines, as Bel Air says is needed,
I do agree. Every school shooting is because of Resident Evil.
they're trying to inject it into existing franchises. This is what we've been seeing in the movie industry as well. Latch on to popular IPs and inject your own narrative into it. When we do get a diverse character, like in the recent Forspoken, the game is trash. And why should we be expected to praise it merely because the protagonist is a black girl?
This smells like shit. It is shit, Austin.
The other side is an audience that feels defensive because their hobby is not only looked down on by society at large, but they are also told from within the industry that they are bad people because they don't want their entertainment, their time to unplug, to be used as a message for social justice. This is why I'm against it. I don't like being called a sexist merely because I enjoy Zelda, and then someone like Anita Sarkeesian tries to tell me that I have a subconscious love for saving damsels because cycle...
I mean, you are something for liking Zelda, but I'm not going to say what it is.
Babble. What always strikes me about this kind of logic is that they're saying we've all got these unconscious biases, and the only way to fight them is by consciously engaging in their open biases. Also, gamers are tired of being told this by outlets that seem to lie
Oh, fuck it, I'll say it. You're retarded.
about games in the reviews and coverage. Now, something I think needs to be added to this discussion is that these consultants are not the only reason the game industry is having issues. I said I'd touch on another Sweet Baby game, and that is Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This one is their most recent game they consulted on, and it has some content that falls into the social politics category. The game apparently strongly implies that this villain, King Shark, is queer. That man is painted as an evil billionaire.
And you know why I'll say it? You know what? I'll say why. It's because Zelda isn't Link. You slow, non-educated individuals.
A lot of liberal talking points, but that's
And Wind Waker is the best Zelda game.
not why the game is
Argue with your hand.
bad. It's bad because the story is bad, and the gameplay is not fun, and the game is not finished. I watched a couple reviews on this one, and the complaints are wide-ranging. So the involvement of Sweet Baby is but a single facet of this failure. When a game becomes nothing but a content product that needs to get out the door, that's when you bring in narrative consultants to write for you, and you slap it all together, and you get a bad game. It's important to get perspective on this trend in gaming. Studios are not prioritizing the player, and consulting firms like Sweet Baby are a symptom of this failure to serve the audience. Why would a company like Rocksteady bring in Sweet Baby? Because they are a subsidiary of Warner Brothers, and large companies like that operate partly on investment dollars. And one way to appeal to investors is to get your ESG score up.
The way games are funded, you don't use your own money, even EA, okay? And what has been the cheapest money while interest rates were still low, a couple of years ago? It was ESG financing.
So they bring in sensitivity readers to show they're being good. Please give us money, and also, please, internet, don't hate us. We don't want to be the next Harry Potter game, where a bunch of chronically online idiots make a fuss about a game they weren't even intending to buy, but claim...
But you know what's crazy? The random fucking pointless hate. Yeah, that motherfucker still ain't released a game. The random pointless hate that this game is getting.
They will boycott it. Ironically, the Harry Potter game sold like crazy and was well received, but Suicide Squad customers...
and it didn't get a fucking DLC. What the fuck? I used to live in a world where games would have DLCs coming out. What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? Now look, if what happened was, hey, we put all of the game in the game. Like, there's no DLC. We got all of it in the game. I'm cool with that. But when you got games like Spider-Man 2 that clearly had elements of DLC in them, and then we don't get it, it's like, fuck. And then the sick part is, motherfuckers have convinced themselves Motherfuckers convinced themselves that we're gonna get like all that content in Spider-Man 3, and we might. But if we don't, it's gonna be like, fuck me. No one is willing to buy 25% of the game for 100% of the price. Incorrect. Several people do that. Several people do that. That was a trend for a long time. Now, you and I don't do that. Well, I don't do it as much as I used to, but I won't lie and say that I've never done it or I'm not willing to do it again. There's a fucking game that's going to potentially, hopefully, maybe, please come out by the end of this year called Grand Theft Auto 6, and everybody's scared that the price of the fucking game is gonna, the base price of the game is gonna be 100, and I'm gonna be the motherfucker who proudly says, sign me the fuck up. I don't care. I will pay that fucking median price steadfast. I am what you would all call the problem. And I, quite frankly, don't care. This is Grand Theft Auto. I'm sick in the head. It's a game with a gun in it. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, distributors had to give a lot of refunds after the launch. Another reason Suicide Squad is hated is because it is yet another live service game. This is a new trend where games are not complete at launch.
And I'm sick in the head because that'll convince other fucking game companies, oh, our base game could be $100. Ha! Yeah, the fuck right.
But the developer swears they will keep adding more content as time goes on if players keep buying skins and emotes and expansions. It's a disgusting practice that is making for terrible games, and I am glad to see another one fail. Live services and bringing on consultants that obviously hate the consumer is part of a trend we're seeing where large studios are not...
Only way they make up for the missed content in Spider-Man 2 is if they turn it into 2 parts. No, that's going to make it worse. I don't need a 2-part fucking game, like, at all.
Making a game that we love.
People pre-order digital games like they run out. First of all, motherfucker, you ain't had to call me out. Yeah, I pre-ordered a digital fucking game. Fuck. Yeah, that'll be sick if we lived in a fucking world where there was like a limit on pre-orders for digital content. Boy, I think I'd give up. I think I'd never play another fucking game if I live in a fucking world where there was like a limited amount of digital. I would go insane. I would commit crimes. I would fucking commit crimes. Digital fucking games ended up like only limited. You know how GameStop only got like a limited amount of pre-orders? I would be gobsmacked. I would be sick. How the fuck would it be limited? Don't fucking sit here and act like a motherfucker wouldn't try to find a way. Like, I'll be comfortable enough to tell you I don't know how. But that's not going to stop a motherfucker who's money hungry from trying it. Sick in the head. Are pre-orders an issue if you're going to buy it anyway? I think they're only an issue in terms of price and what they give you. And again, I said this like an hour ago. When motherfuckers say that the game's not fully out, even though it is out, motherfuckers just chose to pay like $50 or $100 extra to play it a week before you. That don't mean the game is not out. And maybe I'm controversial, but I don't need to fucking see like a 7-day early access for a single player game. Like, are you batshit insane? Especially when I know they got YouTubers that'll fucking who will have that shit like 2 years earlier than me, and they'll already have the fucking content scheduled to go up on YouTube day by day.
And want to play? That's not the first priority. Shoehorning in monetization tactics and social politics so they can get positive headlines is the priority, and it leaves us with games that are simply not enjoyable. So we're talking about Sweet Baby, but consulting companies like them can only peddle their grifts to weak studios that have lost the plot anyway. Gaming is becoming a massive business, and some companies are taking shortcuts. That's why it's important to move away from large, lazy companies like Activision Blizzard and support small, passionate companies like Sabotage or Supergiant. For myself, I care for...
Or Electronic Arts.
First and foremost about gameplay, and I think it's a fair statement to assume the vast majority of players do as well.
Paying for early access is the biggest finesse. Yes.
Something that makes video games so different in terms of story.
There's this like great small indie developing company called Electronic Arts, also known as EA. Bah, I wish they got so much support. Oh, I hopefully they never turn into a greedy, money-hungry company.
Is that the story is almost always secondary at best. The gameplay loop is number one. Despite Blizzard being a nightmare of a company, they did make Diablo 3, which I have played for hundreds of hours. There's no story to this game. Demons are taking over, so kill lots of them. That's pretty much the story. This game is a math simulator. It's an advanced spreadsheet with nice graphics. But why do people love it? Because the gameplay loop is tight, and finding the right combination of armor and abilities to make the numbers above enemy heads larger is satisfying for a reason I cannot fully explain. Games are a medium that is interacted with, not merely experienced. So there are more elements to...
Fuck EA. No, what are you talking about? EA's produced some great fucking games like Madden 08. I can't wait to see what they do with Madden 25.
Consider than simply the story and the character visuals. There is a small and growing segment
It's gonna be so great.
of games called visual novels or games that are purely story-based. Sometimes they're called walking simulators. There is no real gameplay as we would normally talk about it.
Can you blame game influencers for manipulating people into pre-ordering games? Nope. I'm blaming the fucking game company for trying to incentivize people for that with the hilarious different perks that tend to not really make any sense, but at least to me, and I'm a special case. For example, am I able to see hold on. I want to try to prove my point right now, but I need to find, okay, there it is. Oh, I don't need to show that. On the screen is the different versions of the WWE game that you could get. Mind you, the standard edition comes out, I think, Thursday night, Friday morning, one of them. And if you were to just get that, you would get the game, apparently WWE 2K24 for some reason, and a pack of wrestlers, which sounds like a flavor of cigarettes. You get the Dead Man edition. You get to play the game 7 days early. And the Dead Man edition bonus pack, along with the season pass and 15,000 VC, along with the same things, the Wyatt 6-pack and last year's game for some reason. But if you want to be a risk taker and spend 30 extra fucking dollars, you could get the exact same things, a ringside pass, I don't know what that means, the Nation of Domination pack, 7-day early access, and a Bloodline Edition bonus with the exact same things that you've heard in these other ones. And motherfuckers see this shit and they get convinced that this is fucking something to pre-order. Couldn't fucking tell you. And I was sitting here like, do I want to pre-order this shit? And then I remembered, for what? And I said, no. You are a special case. Thank you. I try my hardest sometimes. And it doesn't work all the time. But, you know, it works when it matters. You know what's sick? I was fucking. This had to have been a week ago. I was texting my partner at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and on top of this motherfucker chastising me about why I'm awake, and this fucker tried to psychoanalyze me. This motherfucker was like, bro, I'm just gonna take it that you need somebody to talk to. Bitch, I know you awake at this time. You need somebody to talk to. That's number one. Number two. I know that fucker is probably rubbing one out right now, and I am disgusted. See, the pre-order really isn't the issue here. It's more of the costly editions. What are you talking? Yeah, because $30 for shit that a lot of people ain't even gonna fucking touch. appreciate big dog? No, not really. I don't appreciate large dogs. I am petrified of large animals. If you ever wanted to like scare the fuck out of me, own a very large dog. That'll be it. I don't like them fucking things. Now, I'm older now, so when I was younger, I'd be scared and run away and cry. But now, I'm gonna kill that fucking animal. If you try to fucking sick that dog on me, you're gonna hear a couple sounds. You're gonna hear the sound of a gun going off, and you're gonna hear that fucking dog wail in agony. So try me if you might. Yeah, yuck. Yuck. Am I fucked up? All right, so look, I know I'm not, but y'all gonna fucking understand why. My family used to own a dog, and that motherfucker did not like me and would terrorize me, and all these fucking family members would laugh as I was fucking pleading for them to get their fucking dog, and they didn't do it. I found out that dog died. I started doing the heel toe. My mother called me and told me to call my dad because he's sad that that dog died. Called that motherfucker and started laughing in his face. I had that nigga watch me do the heel toe as I was celebrating his dog dying. Motherfucker tried me like, what the fuck wrong with you? You know what's wrong with me? You didn't fucking get that dog off me when it bit me. You found that shit funny. So you gonna watch this. You gonna watch me cackle. You gonna watch me cackle. Like you got me fucked up. Now look, I used to have a dog. And his name was Oscar. And he was a bulldog. And he died. I was devastated. I wasn't devastated about that little fucking putrid fucking replacement that they came up with. You'll never make me feel bad about some shit that that's terrorism. Bulldogs are ugly. Go outside and piss on yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Bulldogs are the cutest fucking dogs in human history. I don't have the energy to fucking tell you all that. There was a stray cat outside that I wanted. And I tried to take it. And you know, the one thing that I've learned is that animals are very reactionary. And when you try to fucking abduct an animal, especially a feline, they have claws and they will scratch the ever-loving fuck out of you. And when I tell you that at 2 o'clock in the morning, an animal scratched the fuck out of me because I wanted it as my own, I was devastated. I was devastated. I was hurt. I was not amused. I just wanted to go outside and sin. And I did. Them purrs heal wounds. Yeah. But when you're unsuccessful in getting the fucking animal, all you got is a bleeding fucking forearm in a dream. I think somebody asked me like the last stream, how's Peachy? And I'm still stun locked over the fact that like 3 of y'all came up with a fan fiction of Peachy joining the army. And I was just sitting there like, there's a lot of shit that I can't imagine in this life. Peace among the worlds, the end of hatred and bigotry, a country that actually is not an embarrassment to the world, and Peachy joining the fucking military. Like, right, a bakery would definitely be more believable. The problem is, motherfucker just randomly said, I thought Peachy joined the army. And it's like some shit not supposed to make you laugh, but that shit made me laugh. Talk about somebody just just not fit in a role you just randomly give them. Because what the fuck could you possibly mean? I can't imagine Peachy just like standing after basic training. Like, that's... I would try my damnedest to get her out of there because she don't need to be a part of any of that shit. Peachy's the type of woman. It's like the sunshine and rainbow. Just go outside and just like frolic. You think of Peachy, you think of the word frolicking. Just straight frolicking. Just happy vibes, just frolicking. Nothing else. Seeing this motherfucker just doing anything else, especially that, would petrify my soul. I wouldn't want it. I would actually petition for that sweet, innocent, grown-ass woman to not be a part of that shit. Show me your war. No, I wouldn't want that motherfucker to even... Peachy's the in real life version of SpongeBob. The sick part is she's never watched SpongeBob. And that's like the sick part. The motherfucker's way... Peachy is yet like another example of like they're innocent motherfuckers who just deserve to be protected away from like you fucking decrepit online people. Would you go to the army in her place? I feel like there's like an old saying in society about how one would serve crack before they serve this country. And you know, if the opportunity presented itself, you would tend to have to, go with the flow on it. So what have we learned? I've learned a lot. I've learned Sweet Baby Inc. is a fucking easily fucking overblown institution that has leaders in it that don't create the most positive outlook for the future of a couple AAA games. However, my point still stands that I am just going to focus on the games that pique my interest. That way, my head doesn't hurt as much. Because I think that's what's important. Because in this really vast world of all these different games and all these different mediums, what's important is finding what you could enjoy. Because the negative is still going to be there. Stupid people will think that they could cheer on the downfall of gaming and that's going to matter. And that's just sick in the head. Because without games, what am I going to do? Talk to people? No one wants to talk to me. No one contacts me. No one calls me. You know what calls me? The beck and sensation of pressing the X button, or the square button, or the triangular button, or the spherical button, more known to you commoners as the circle button. I call you. You are fully consumed with being the most horrendous liar in the room. There are 40 people on YouTube watching this. I think there's like 2 watching on Twitch. You are an egregious fucking liar. You lie just to like seek the gratification of somebody looking at you. You lie worse than this motherfucker's nipples are poking out. Like, what are we talking about here, my boy? What are we talking about here? You know what calls Peachy? The Call of Duty. You know what? That might be true. So look, class, we could do like one of 3 things. Option one, we could just end the stream right now. Option 2, we could end the YouTube stream and just go to Twitch, because I kind of do want to watch this fucking Sam Cedar fucking video of like 20 Trump supporters versus 1, which would like irk my fucking soul, because while the growing consensus is like Jubilee is like right-wing favoritism, when they do like the 20 Trump supporters versus the 1, it seemed like the 1 always tends to fucking prove that they got some Trump supporters that they pick just to make them look bad. Option 3, we just say fuck it and ball. Because I don't have the itch to end the stream. I kind of want to keep streaming. But if we go with option 3, part of me is going to want to fucking talk about this. Switch to Twitch. I think Kamal was watching this shit and they took the stream down. I think. I don't know. Because I know he was watching this shit and then he had to redo his stream, but I don't know if it was because they kind of just took it down. Option 3, fuck it, we ball. Well, I got my one chatter on Twitch saying fuck YouTube chat. So it's like I could appease the minority in the room. What the hell was 3? Well, 3 is just saying fuck it and balling. And with that comes me fucking reacting to both of these. Never mind, do option 3. Oh. Hold on. Let me stretch my back. For the fuck of it. Bring it on over to Twitch. See? Now I'm getting more. Now I'm getting one more person saying bring it to Twitch. Methinks the vocal minority is the winners in this. Methink the vocal minority might end up being the winner in all of this. Because you know I love my minorities. My minorities are an excellent group of people. And the only reason, the only true reason why is because they're truly special. And they make me feel bad. I shit you not. When I do this shit, when I sit here and I fucking when I sit here and do, bro, this is the first time I've actually caught you on Twitch. Come on. I mean, I didn't say I was ending the streams. I just don't want to fucking deal with because the last time I watched a Jubilee video, they like tried to stick me.
Who does? It's so impractical. Hey, we got a $23 sky pack. Come holler.
Like they tried to stick me. And it was like, I don't want to deal with that headache again.
Who does? It's so impractical. Hey, we got a $23 sky pack. Come holler.
Well, since there are people following on Twitch, I feel like this creates that precedent. Decisions. Interesting. Y'all want to see what the Xbox look like now? Bro, you said you were I said I was considering, given the subject matter. I'm still mulling it over. Can I send the title of a video? No. This, dear children, is an Xbox Series S. It is.
Who does? It's so impractical. Hey, we got a $23 sky pack. Come holler.
I don't really want to get gangbanged.
Who does? It's
Hold
so
the fuck up.
Hey, we got a $23 sky pack. Come holler.
This motherfucker just follows, shows up, and it just gives 5 subs. I ain't gonna lie. That solidified it. Goodbye, YouTube. We